We're back. We're on.
Hi guys, welcome back to the stream. Sorry, we had a moment there where we weren't sure what was happening. I say we, John knew exactly what was happening. The rest of us were very confused. I don't know why, because I've spent the whole weekend with people. I was expecting a reply from no one. They can't talk back to us.
No.
Anyway, for those unaware, it was UKGE this weekend. Some of us were there a lot longer than others and are feeling very tired. That's not to take away from the tiredness of everyone else. I'm sure everyone was tired, even though those who've spent a day there. But yes, I'm going to default to my normal thing of talking far too much as per usual. But welcome back to the Actual Play UK stream. I am Jordan of Modified Rule, and with me today, I'm going to get everyone to do their own introductions again. I have John. You want to tell us where you're from?
I'm from the Trolls of the Two Ton Bridges, and we're a podcast. You can find us all over the place on various podcatchers and things like that. And also, apparently I kind of poked Jordan until he let me make these streams.
I'm glad John said it, because if he didn't, I was going to. John is also the reason that this stream is a stream and not still just a bunch of people in a Discord together, and we cannot thank him enough. Because I'm still, frankly, just every time shocked at how good everything looks and how smooth everything usually runs.
Usually.
I don't want to say all the times, that might jinx things.
No.
But, so, yeah, can't thank John enough. But not to forget about the rest of the cast. Adam, tell us about where you're from.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm from the Snyder's Return interview and actual play podcast. You can find us at Return Snyder on Twitter, Snyders_Return on Instagram. We're on Facebook, but we don't tend to do much activity over there. And we also have a very small sort of YouTube amount of content. So come and check us out there as well. Thank you, Jordan.
No problem. And Maddy.
Hello, yes. I'm Maddy. My pronouns are she, her. I am a regular cast member on Realms of Peril and Glory, which is an actual play podcast with beautiful sound design and original music. And I've also just launched a new podcast called A Game of One's Own, where I play solo and two-player role-playing games. And we had a live show completely last minute and completely by luck at UKGE on the Friday, which was wonderful and very fun. Featuring Zach, who will be appearing on many more streams on this channel, I am sure. So yeah, you can find more about me and what I do at Maddy_abstract on Twitter, and there's a link in my bio to all my various things.
Brilliant. And last but not least, Nate.
Hi, I'm Nate. I am the DM on Lads on Tour podcast, which is about a stag do in the apocalypse. Classic D&D fare, which you can find at Pods on Tour on Twitter and Lads on Tour Pod on Instagram, though I kind of forget that Instagram is there.
I'm going the other way now, actually. After the dumpster fire that Twitter's become, I'm sort of forgetting it exists. But beyond that, as a quick reminder, this is obviously the second half of the Dead Wizard's Tower. Unfortunately, is a little bit delayed due to an illness. We're not going to hold anyone accountable for that. Nate.
I was dying.
Obviously not hard enough, you're still here.
It's a slow process, man.
Aren't we all
working on it?
Look, we're all dying from the day we were born, and if that isn't nihilistic enough, I don't know what is.
It's all right. We've got Morkborg later in like a couple of months. So.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm definitely going to tune in to watch. Again, we're getting so many like streams coming up that I have never heard of so many of these games, and because I handle the social medias, I'm like, I should probably look what this is before I describe it, and just to say, we've got another game. I just say, welcome to come and see the high fantasy gothic whatever. Morkborg is dark, guys. If you're into like dark RPG, sort of high fantasy gothic horror, you want to be tuning in for that one. However, if you're a fan, oh, there we go. There's the Morkborg character sheet, I think. Alternatively, if you're into things like Murder, She Wrote and Golden Girls, we have a Brindlewood game coming up, which again, something I'd never heard of, and now I'm super excited to see it played. Golden Girls meets Murder, She Wrote meets Lovecraftian horror. What isn't there to love? But that's enough of us promoting other shows. We're going to start getting on with this one. Similar to last time, I have a little opening thing. This time it's not a question. For those unaware, I hosted the first live D&D themed quiz that I'm aware of on Sunday at UK Games Expo, and one of the rounds was a little round I like to call What That Mouth Do. John, if you could share the Roll20 screen.
I can.
I have got I've got an image of a creature here. And hoping that everyone's on Roll20, which it doesn't look like everyone is, which is a great start.
Fuck. I'm doing so well.
Yeah,
It's
same.
been a day, week, month,
It's been a few days.
life.
So for those unaware, I'm sure our viewers, well, some of our viewers may recognize this creature. I'm not going to name the creature or give any description of the creature, but
Bill.
Once all of our cast are able to see the creature, we're going to go round the room and everyone is going to give their best impression of the creature, and the best impression gets a point from me. As a reminder to our players and the audience, the points are worthless.
I'm more invested now.
Yep. I want it even more.
So while Maddy and Nate, we've got one more, Maddy is in, while Nate is joining us on Roll20, we're going to start with John, since he was the first on my introduction list. John, if you'd like to give us your best impersonation of this creature, please.
Let's see. Well, he's a looker, isn't he? Okay,
Those big kissy lips.
see.
I would like some cheese, please.
I like the direction you took with that. You've
you.
given him a taste for cheese, apparently.
Look, if you don't realise that this guy likes cheese, then who knows what kind of land we're in?
There's something in his eyes that does scream that, isn't there?
Yes.
I
Adam.
think with the way that the hands are clenched and the sort of the hunches, it's not so much aqua, more of a I'm just come up in the tide this morning, so you can come and see me when you want something from the market. Yeah.
Very was that like Londoner, I think?
Yeah.
The market, in the market. Excellent. Maddy.
I think I remember seeing these in an Ox Venture game, but I cannot remember what the creature is called. But I feel like the energy that I'm getting from this guy is a sort of. I'm just going to go for a simple one noise.
Just one noise,
interpretation.
one
Yeah.
syllable. I mean,
Yeah,
It's enough.
it's good. I get it.
simple but effective. I hope.
It is very effective. And I can hear it saying it. I can hear it making that noise. And finally, Nate.
Okay, so what I seem to be looking at is a fish with human lips, which is not something I ever wanted to look at. So I'm going to take Maddy's approach, which is going for a noise, and I think it's just basically going.
I think that's probably the most disturbing thing that I've heard today.
You know what? I get that all the time.
Phenomenal. Nate, you definitely made me laugh the hardest, so I think Nate's going to have to get the point for that. For everyone else's benefit, this was a kuatoa. Everyone was pretty accurate on that fish person. And I'm sorry, but the correct answer, which is the noise I hear every time I see this picture, Adam had the right idea. It's the little clenched hands, the open mouth, the leaning forward. What I hear in my head is, yeah! Yeah! He's just really excited to be here. Yeah! I'm glad that got
was
a laugh.
really
I was
channeling like cartoon 1940s gangster for me.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That was kind of the vibe I was getting there. Which I
Fucking
love.
boss, yeah!
I see you, Sonny. Let's go this way, Bash.
Right, with us all thoroughly relaxed and not at all uncomfortable, we're going to progress with the story.
That effect on people.
To remind everyone, because it has been a bit of a time, you guys were a group of an adventuring guild that have just completed a mission and were on their way back to collect your pay and probably relax. But on the way, you came across a halfling sat outside this wizard's tower that appeared out of nowhere as if it had erupted from the earth. And he asked if you could go inside and try to receive the research and sort of magical equipment of his dear friend, Bran Greenstaff Creel, who had passed away. You were being sent in because the tower still has some defenses activated that he was worried would end up getting him killed. When you went inside, you were met with this sort of visage, this person's face, which appeared to be Bran, telling you that he was going to try and protect his stuff and you could get it if you were worthy. And he was also a little bit rude about adventurers being sent instead of his friend Billowin coming in to get them himself. You first found yourselves in a storage room where you made the mistake of trying to rifle through Bran's belongings, where you were then attacked by some animated armor, some flying swords, and a rug of smothering. Having defeated everything in the room, you then had the bright idea to continue rifling through everything, where you found that one of the chests in the room was in fact a mimic which tried to eat one of you. With that defeated, you continued on and went up the stairs of the tower again to find yourselves in a vast library full of grotesques and statues, and at the far end, a great big crystalline hourglass set in the silver filigreed stand, which activated and flipped over and started spinning or following the sand from one bump to the other once you stepped into this area around it, whence you were attacked by a pair of gargoyles. After much toing and froing and faffing about, you eventually realised that just letting the timer run out was probably the best idea, which you did, and the door to the room unlocked, allowing you to progress further. We rejoin you now after you have completed the room. I cannot remember if we rested, so we're going to go with whatever is written on your character sheet is how we ended.
Yeah, I have 8 HP, so...
Yeah,
I feel like we didn't rest, and I would love it if we did.
I think we did. Nate, we rested.
Yes. Oh, nice. Cool.
So, are you guys
thank
taking a
God.
short rest or a long rest?
Ooh,
I mean,
you ask all the
Fair enough.
challenging questions.
I mean, bearing in mind, you were never given a time frame for this. It's just whether or not you feel safe sleeping in this apparently dead wizard's tower. It's always great when they put the name of the thing in the thing, isn't it?
that way you really know it's good.
Right, I'm going to be honest, I would love to have a nap on account of I feel like I'm dying. I might be dying.
No, yes, that makes sense. I think, despite my hardy and
No, that's Hardy.
vital... oh yes, of course. Sorry. My very vital constitution. I think a rest might be good for the rest of the party.
So,
Sorry, after you.
are we stopping for a while, or just for a short period? You know, we don't want to get caught out, but we all look a bit beaten up. Well, some more than others.
I'm just in a sort of non-metagaming way. I would say I don't think I can turn into a horse again unless I have like a proper nap.
Nay. Sorry.
Well,
But honestly, I'll just do what you want.
I think that you're probably all correct, and whilst all of this conversation has been going on, Octavias has actually been unpacking his sleeping roll and just kind of putting it on the floor.
I'm picturing him with like a little nightcap.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
He
like got
takes
his
his hat
jammies
off.
on.
He actually takes his hat off, and there's a nightcap underneath it.
Nice. It's got one of them little candles.
Prepared.
Nice. Damn you, old man. It looks like we're taking a longer rest than perhaps we should do in a dead wizard's tower or a wizard's
He said
tower.
the thing. He said the thing.
I said the thing. You said the thing is why I said the thing.
No, you can't hear me. I'm God.
Who said
that? Well, the way I see it is that we should probably all have what's known as a long rest.
Look,
To
at
help-
this point, guys, just tick your character sheets off. Like, we don't
No,
need to
I'd like
roleplay
to
out the
talk for
decision.
about another sort of 20 minutes about whether or not we should go to bed.
No need to role play out the decision. You're having a long rest. Just tick all the stuff. You're done.
Thank you.
Hooray!
Yay.
Damn you, old man.
So, I'm not going to punish you for that.
For the roleplay?
Much. No, for the rest. You guys have your long rest. Probably, maybe in the library. Maybe you head out onto the hallway where the stairs are, and close the door behind you for fear of the gargoyles coming back. That bit's irrelevant because it happens. You're done. Once you finish your long rest, you find yourself, similarly to before on the previous floors, stood on a sort of landing with a set of stone stairs spiraling up the exterior walls of this tower. I'm assuming you're going to continue upward.
Yes.
Yep.
That makes sense.
As you head up, you come to another wooden door, similar to the one previously. Little ornamentation, no lock, but a handle.
I mean, are we opening the door? Or are we going to I think we should probably stand around for a solid sort of 20 to 25 minutes and discuss whether or not we open the door.
Oh,
Hang
please,
on, hang
after
on.
you.
Hang on, what kind of grain is the wood? I'm not concerned.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for stroke, please?
I can certainly try.
No, you're fine. Is somebody going to open the door? 12. Ooh, just about.
Would you like to?
So the more you irritate me, the higher the check gets.
Okay.
Oh no, challenge accepted.
Now let's go. I have one skill and it's being very annoying. I'll open the door.
Oh,
Let's go.
after you.
Oh, all right.
As you open the door, you are met by a very different scene to what you've had before. In stark contrast to the previous floor, this one opens into what appears to be a lush and verdant forest. You can hear insects buzzing around you and birds singing from the tops of the tall trees. A path cuts through the forest before you as what appears to be sunlight streams through the canopy above, dappled light falling across you as you step in.
Mustalid is absolutely delighted. This is the best day they have had in a long time.
After you, I guess, Mustalid.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm just gonna bound in.
Yeah, you head in. I'm assuming the rest of you follow. At the minute, you are just sort of in the forest. There's not much to describe as yet other than the path that you've already seen.
Sounds good to me.
Is there anything kind of, are these like regular looking trees? I assume there's some kind of magical element, but could I do something like a kind of a nature revive to see if these are just regular trees?
A nature check? Absolutely, you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Absolutely, you can do a nature check.
Let's do a nature check. Yeah. 17.
Also, can somebody can somebody also remind me of moving some tokens on here? Is Dave still around?
I think if we've had a long rest, Dave has gone, but I probably will summon him at some point again soon because I love him and he's my best friend.
Good Dave.
Okay, we'll move Dave onto the new map then. He is there. You should all be able to see your tokens.
Nice.
But with your nature check of a 17, yes, you notice that these trees are very much real. Like the trees themselves are alive, growing, actual trees. You can feel the bark and the leaves. But you do notice that there is something unnatural about the light itself, the sunlight that you can see. If you wish to, you can do an Arcana check with that knowledge.
Yeah, fuck it. I have some Arcana. Oh, 21.
Yeah, you immediately after like, something's weird about this. You like find a spot where the canopy is a bit thinner, and you look up. You have a good squint, and you realize that this isn't the real sun, but it is the sunlight spell that has been somehow enchanted to remain active constantly. This has obviously been here some time, and this appears to be a forest that has grown up, fed by the light from this sunlight spell.
Right, lads, this is going to shock you, but that is not actually the sun.
I won't hear of it. Surely it's right there.
Now, I can understand why you might think that, but we are actually indoors, and it took me a while as well. I was also confused, but it's not the sun. Don't know if we have to do anything with that, but I just thought I'd let you know about the situation of the light. There's a sort of fluorescent light situation going on.
I'm fairly convinced it's an illusion.
That feels right.
Yes.
Right, I'm just going to continue trotting off into the woods.
You guys continue onward. You follow the path winding through these trees, and like as you're going, you can hear birds chirping. You hear insects buzzing. Occasionally, you're pretty sure you can even hear the rustling of a small animal a little bit off in the forest itself. But eventually, you can just spot ahead of you the path leading into a clear area, some sort of, a clearing. And as you get closer, you can just about make out, sort of just off center in the clearing, what appears to be some sort of little shack. Like almost like a little lean-to.
I think we've learned from previous experience to just carry on.
Yeah, let's just go. Just mainline the main quest. Let's go.
Yes, side quests are not needed at this point. We don't need
Fuck
extra
the shack.
XP.
What if
Okay. In that case, what is going to be your marching order? Who's in the front?
Ugh. I think
I
I'm
think
probably in
Mustalid
the
is still
front
Mustalid is
because I
probably
have
still-
been kind of just trotting on ahead happily, delighted
Cool.
by this foresty situation.
Who would be second then?
I think Haymaker might come up close behind. I think she's kind of, though she isn't really involved in the staging of her amazing kind of acrobatic shows, she is considering the benefits of the sunlight spell instead of like regular spotlights, because they can be a bit sort of they can make you look a bit pasty if you not put the right makeup on.
Yes, you just need an exceptionally high-level spellcaster to be there for all of your shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Worth it.
And then
Incredibly,
assuming-
incredibly good use of time and resources.
Nice.
I'm assuming it's then going to be Hardy Octavius.
Yeah, I think Hardy would be following on behind Haymaker, probably wondering if that lean-to stand did lemonade and just kind of enjoying the sunlight, soaking it all in.
Well, you guys make it to I would say you don't even have to get that close. I'd say probably about 20, 30 feet into the clearing. And you can quite clearly tell as you're like getting close to it, not heading towards it, you guys have already said you want to walk past, but you can quite clearly tell that there is like a desk, say a desk, big table, big heavy duty table set up in this little lean-to, covered in notes and sort of bits and pieces of the like trees and plants and stuff. But there's definitely several notebooks with quill and ink set out on the table.
Hang on. This looks interesting.
Don't do it, old man.
You know I can't resist a quill.
Oh, it does look very wizardy. I mean, I have none of this interests me whatsoever, but I can see how a wizard type person might find this.
It's fine. You guys, you carry on. I understand the young nowadays. You have to go and have fun or whatever it is that you're doing. But allow me to indulge in my one greatest pleasure. Knowledge.
I do not understand you as a person, but I respect that you want to do this. So I'm just going to stand here and act like I know what's going on. Mustalid stands slightly uncomfortably close.
Okay. Yeah, of course, you can always come with me. I'd be more than happy to impart some knowledge.
Mustalid is desperately looking around at the others, trying to get an out. I would love that.
It's agreed.
Yes. Okay. Oh God. Right. Fantastic. I'm very excited for the knowledge.
Don't say I didn't warn you, Mustalid.
I don't think you did. Why didn't you warn me? I panicked.
So it sounds like Octavius is planning to look at the lean-to.
I will approach
Mustalid is
gingerly.
following. Haymaker and Hardy, whereabouts are you guys going to continue walking just past?
Hardy's going to move sort of perpendicular or parallel to Octavius and stand there with arms crossed, tapping his feet like Sonic the Hedgehog.
When you've left him in the idle animation.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
What about Haymaker?
Haymaker is going to stand about 10 feet away in case one of these bits of paper suddenly starts eating everyone, and perhaps do a little bit of drilling with the trunk of a tree, just doing some like right hooks, some uppercuts, that kind of stuff.
Excellent. I mean, if you want to be hitting a tree, you're gonna have to be towards the edge of the clearing. So would you want to be that far away from everyone? No, this isn't an ominous question. Just a general. Where do you want to be?
Yeah. I'll head a bit further out just to kind of, just to make things a bit interesting. Why not?
Cool. By all means, you should, I hope, have control of the token. Please put him where you would like to be in relation to everyone else, because I don't want to dictate where you're standing, but anywhere around the edge of that clearing would work.
I'll just put right up there.
Ah, perfect. So
That's not the thing you want to hear from the DM. Perfect.
I mean, you're going to find this very funny in a minute. Bearing in mind, I'm not touching anything in a minute, so you're going to find this very funny. Octavius, as you step up, Mustalid, I don't know if you're like leaning over his shoulder to read along, or if you're just kind of stood there sort of T-posing, like, I don't know what I should be doing.
I'm essentially T-posing next to him.
Octavias, you reach down and you pick up the last thing that was written, and you see a piece of parchment, the title of which is called Blights. The origins of the Blights is a horrific one. Born of the tree which grew from the stake plunged through the heart of a powerful vampire. They are evil from their conception, though luckily not particularly intelligent. They are, however, adept at ambushing the unwary. Can everyone roll initiative, please?
Tits!
Oh.
Come on. Come on, physical dice.
5.
Physical dice have failed.
Now, I would like to point out, I have just like revealed a bunch of tokens. I haven't moved a single one. Can we take a look at where Haymaker is standing?
Wow.
Oh, chicken. Okay.
It's all good. I'll just punch it out. It'll be fine.
Nice.
I got a 21 initiative. It's great.
Wow.
Oh, hold on, people. Hold on. I just realized I need to add all of you to the initiative tracker because nobody is using Roll20. That turn. You guys actually might be able to write these in yourselves.
I should be able to.
Yes.
Please do, because
Gotcha.
it saves me doing it. I need to roll for these little idiots.
Yeah, I've definitely thrown these at my players in my very loosely inspired by Lost game where they're all stranded on an island and they somehow managed to roll a 100 on a D100 for a magic bean that created a portal to another dimension.
Nice.
So my locked box island suddenly became a lot bigger than I imagined, but I turned it back. I managed to turn it back on them by making it a horrible meat dimension, so it was fine.
Oh.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I was very proud of myself for torturing them this way.
I'm also just taking the words horrible meat dimension and putting that away for
Scratching
later
that down in a
use.
notebook. Oh, I need this
Yes.
one. This will be useful.
delicious. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so amazingly, Haymaker, you'll be going first. As what happens as Octavias, just almost like you're not reading this out loud. It's almost uncanny. You get to this in your head. You read that and go, "Huh, that's not ominous." And then you just hear, as around you, a bunch of the what you thought to be just little like bits of bush and shrubbery and stuff begin pulling themselves out of the ground and stand there hunched in these little twig-like forms. And Haymaker, the tree that you were punching, you're punching that a proper, you're punching a tree. There was a little like thorn bush next to it, which as you swing and punch at the tree, you see it shifting unnaturally, and then it stands up into this humanoid form and looks at you with shock as you're already just like punching a tree, and it's like, huh? And then you get to act.
Cool. I would like to do a shove action and just kind of punt it into the undergrowth.
Sure.
I think that's just the instinct is just like. Ugh.
I think that's technically a grapple, and then as a grapple you can move them, I think.
Cool. I think because there's
Unless
shove
you
on actions
have-
in combat that I can do.
Oh yeah, then just do that. I'm gonna be honest, shove comes up so infrequently I haven't like learnt the rules for
Oh
it.
yeah, same. I just saw it on D&D Beyond. I was like, that sounds fun. Athletics check. It's contested athletics.
Oh well, you'll be surprised to know these guys are not particularly athletic.
Cool.
That was actually rolled okay, 15.
Oh, that's a 12 for me. Yeah.
Ooh, so I'm guessing then nothing happens.
Yeah. Just a flail and no
Yeah,
effect.
you go to push it, and then as you're like reaching your hands out, you remember, oh wait, this thing was like a thorn bush, and you go, ah, and just like
Yeah.
pull your hands back. There's no damage, but it pricks you a little bit, and it kind of looks down like, ah. Oh, the noise it probably makes is probably something more like. But yeah, I'm assuming that was a full action. So do you have any bonus actions you would like to take? You're a monk. You can just like bonus action punch it, I believe.
I think if that's only if I take an attack action on my turn that I can do an unarmed strike as bonus. So, but
Pretty sure it's a bonus
I
action
can.
you just punch.
I can also. Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna do a unarmed strike just as.
Like it's just
Yeah.
it's a completely separate action, just as a bonus
Yeah, okay.
action. Just because you're a monk, your unarmed strikes are better than everyone else's. You can just punch it as a bonus action.
Nice. Yeah, I'll just do that. Just do the classic. So that is 13 to hit.
A 13 does hit. You'll be surprised to know
Nice.
these things made up of twigs and needles and branches, not a big AC.
Cool. That's 8 points of damage.
Woof. It's still alive, but you just essentially, as you reach out and punch it, you see it like raising this weird amalgamation of like twigs and branches shaped roughly into an arm, and it reaches it towards you, and you just go, nah, punch! And the arm just explodes into bits of twig and branch, as you would expect when you punch branches. And it now has one arm. The one-armed bandit. But I'm assuming then, is that everything for your turn?
Yes, that's me.
Excellent. Octavias, as you sort of stand and you hear all of this, you'd spin around, and then you notice, as you sort of look back to the table, that one of these creatures right next to the shack stood up. This one actually pulls away from the shack itself, where originally it looked like a group of vines sort of growing up the side of the shack. Instead, it pulls away, and you see this creature made up of a shambling vines intertwined with one another to make up what would be its normal body. And I'm going to need 15-foot radius. I don't think I can hit. No, 15-foot radius. I can definitely hit. Okay, I need Octavias, Mustalid, and Hardy all to make me strength checks, please.
I have that.
Strength checks or saving throws?
Strength saving throw. Sorry, strength saving throw.
13.
-1, so
Yeah,
a
Mustalid,
12,
you're fine.
an 11.
10!
Woof. As you watch this creature pull itself away from this shack, it looks about itself. You see, it's like, it doesn't have like eyes, but it has like recesses in its face. Obviously, like it almost resembling eyes. And it pulls these two big, heavy laden arms up. And where it currently is formed to look almost like hands, they begin to split and twist. And you see them forming back into like regular looking vines, which it then slams into the ground. And you see them like undulating and ripple as they feed into the ground. And then Octavias, Mustalid, and Hardy, you all feel the ground beneath you sort of buck and weave slightly, and then all of a sudden, these vines rip their way out of the ground and begin wrapping about you. Mustalid, you immediately just rip your legs up, tearing the vines free of the ground, but Hardy and Octavias, you're caught much too unaware, and both of you are currently restrained. Just got the marker on so I remember. But that is everything for the creature's turn. But then, it is the other creature's turn. The ones made up of, like, twisted vines, or twisted thorns and nettles, take their turn. The one in front of Haymaker is going to make a swipe. Does an 18 hit your armor class?
It does, yes.
That's unfortunate. If I click this, will it do damage? It does. 7 piercing damage.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not good for you guys. What's the range in this thing? 30 feet. Okay, and its movement is... This is the bit where I talk to myself for a couple of minutes. Hold on. Okay, so they can all move and do this. So he's going to move to there. He's going to move to there.
I really appreciate their sense of like narrative drama that they waited for you to read the thing. I like to think they were all just like there waiting, being like, "Has he read the thing? He's read the thing, guys! Go, go, go!"
It's almost like I'm a literary genius who can barely say the word literary. The other
You're a
three
wordsmith.
versions. The other three creatures step out of the tree line. You see them rear their two arms back and then rush them forward, and at which point these thorns and briars in their arms detach And I'm going to make attack rolls. 1 for Octavias, 1 for Mustalid, and 1 for Hardy. 1, 2, 3. Unnatural 20 against Mustalid, 16 for Octavias, 12 for Hardy.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Mustalid, you're going to take 8 piercing damage.
No, thank you.
And Octavius, you'll be taking 12 piercing damage. Oh god.
Shield!
Excellent. Probably a good idea.
He goes, "Oh, my Groot!" And the shield pops up.
Don't, we're going to get sued by Marvel.
And hang on a sec. What was the attack roll?
Oh,
So
it
it was
was a 16?
Yeah, just makes it.
Okay.
Uh,
Wait, as in it still hits you, even with shield?
it's a 16.
Oh god, okay, you take 12 piercing damage.
And a wasted spell. Brilliant.
It almost makes sense, you being restrained. You're a bit more worried about the vines. You're trying to tear them off. You're trying to pull them off your leg, and then you just get stabbed a lot in the back. God. And then I'm just realizing how badly the rest of you rolled on initiative. Then it is the small creature's turn. These little shrub-like beings pull themselves free of the ground, and my god, they begin to rush you.
Oh, good.
The horror. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Okay, that you're technically closer to Mustalid, so they're going to go 2 for Mustalid, unfortunately. So, going in order, Octavius. 19, good god, I know that hits.
Wow.
5 piercing damage.
Okay. Oh,
Mustalid's
bollocks!
22. And an
Yep.
8, so I'm guessing the end 8 doesn't hit, but the 22 will.
The 22 does.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
5 piercing damage. And then
Motherfucker.
finally, Hardy. A 12, I'm guessing, doesn't hit.
Nah, I'm a class of 15.
Can I point out, this encounter is always either a complete walk in the park or a near party kill.
I'm pretty sure you said that the last time.
Yep. I have never had this encounter go sort of like, a bit of fighting, some people lose a bit of health, and then we all walked out saying, that was a good fight. It's always either, oh my god, we nearly died, or holy shit, we barely noticed them.
Nice.
That said, we're now actually getting around to the rest of you guys. Mustalid.
Yes, okay. Mustalid has a lot of history of setting fire to trees, so is actually feeling surprisingly confident about the situation. So Mustalid's going to be like, right, Dave, you're up. And I'm going to use my wild shape to summon Dave.
Of course, Dave is just over here, so let me pull. Where would you like to put him?
Just next to me, for now.
There he is. There he is.
Um,
Little Dave. Little Dave the not badger.
He's got the heart of a badger. I don't know what that means. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to go, come on, Dave, it's time to go. And Dave is going to use his fiery teleportation to teleport me and Octavius 15 feet away. So, 1, 2... Not far, but I'm going to say it's going to teleport us like... Oh, it would help if I actually used the right thing. Like over here.
Yep, you should have control of Dave as well, so if you
and
drag
Dave.
select, you can get both of them.
Dave's coming with me. And then Octavius can also join us on that. And it's
Yeah.
going to... everything, all of those little blight guys within 5 feet of where we were
Yep, those two, yep.
needs to take a dexterity saving throw.
So, I'm going to decide whether I make 1 or 2 rolls after I've made the first roll. That roll applies to both of them. They both failed.
Fantastic. Then they take 7 fire damage each.
Hey.
Excellent. As you sort of summon Dave, this not badger definitely fire spirit, the creature looks up to you and you're like, Dave, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's make like a leaf and fuck off. It's butchering 2 sayings there.
Yes,
There's
that
a
well-known
fiery-
one. Fuck off. Yes.
Yeah. Not only that, I said let's make like a leaf and not
Right.
make like a tree.
I
So
know.
I butchered it at every level. Dave reaches up, touches you, and there's a fiery explosion, and you reappear next to Octavias. I'm pretty sure. Did you take Octavias with you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can take
I mean, I'm going to trust you.
each willing creature of my choice.
I just noticed
Yeah.
that the token
I'm
of it was like, wait,
willing.
what?
I'm very
I
willing.
assumed he was willing. We all held
Uh,
hands together and just went. Whoop.
Oh, the yellow bird.
You have my
as it-
consent.
As Dave
Fuck yeah.
explodes in this fiery brilliance, the two twig blights next to you just erupt in flame and turn into ash. You have successfully destroyed
Nice.
2 of them, and I just realized I deleted the one who was in the turn order. Bollocks.
Right, forest fires.
Do that. There we go. Cool.
There was a horrifying
you still
incident.
that we don't speak of.
Don't worry about it.
You still have movement and stuff, although you are currently stood next to another twig blight.
I'll stay where I am for now. I'm not letting that get a.
Actually, I've also just realized because of that, because you have moved, Octavius, I'm going to say that you have actually broken his restraint as well.
I got you.
I would also normally, when that creature's attack happened that restrained you, it would also usually make the area difficult terrain. I'm just we'll deal with that if that becomes apparent. I don't care enough, if I'm being honest. It just slows things down. I'm just making sure that people watching this artifact are aware. I know, I just don't care today. That said, it would be Octavius' turn then.
No. Okay, so the blight to the north of Octavia. So
Yes, the vine creature.
yes. So that one looks kind of different to the others. Is that correct?
Yes. Of the 3 you can see, there are little tiny shambling like shrub things. There are the ones on the outskirts that appear to be like bramble and thorn sort of intertwined. This one is like a big heaping mass of vines sort of intertwined and coalesced to make a body.
Okay, based on what I read before we were ambushed, can I get any idea about particular weaknesses or anything like that? Is it?
I think you can certainly make
it.
it. I'll say for free, because again, I don't like people making checks to be like, huh, what's that thing? Let me take a minute to remember. If you remember a thing, you remember it. Make a nature check.
Do 12.
I would say, being a wizard specifically, you recognize, especially because the notes literally named them as blights. You're like, oh, I've heard of blights before. I would say the main thing you would know is that it sort of almost corroborates what the note said, and that you know that these were creatures that were originally formed when a stake was plunged into an exceptionally powerful vampire. It was then left, and the stake grew into a tree. And then the fruit from that tree, the seeds of that fruit could be planted to grow various forms of blight. Beyond that, you don't know much about their particular differences from one type to another. You just know there are like variations on a theme, in that they are evil plant creatures.
Hooray!
Yeah, sorry. With a 12, I can't really give you much more for that on a 12.
Evil plants! Evil plants! And
Thank you for telling us.
As everyone else is like, oh god, no! Ow! Ow!
just in case you couldn't tell. Okay, he's going to all right, in that case, yes, he's going to kind of wave his hands in a very arcane fashion, and Hadouken, the one just to the north.
Shoryuken! Absolutely. Which actual spell are you casting? Firebolt?
No, Hadouken. No. Yes, Fireball.
Cool. I'm just checking if I have to make a save or not.
That's fair. Ooh, that's an 18. Look at that.
I mean, if you've rolled an 18,
Yeah.
it's going to hit.
Yeah.
As I've described, they are plants.
Okay, so it's
So
Two-
did
2 to
Octavius
10.
crouch backwards, crouch down, crouch forwards, and then sort of double tap?
yes.
Down, back, AB, AB.
Nice.
Octavius's cheat codes are running.
That's good. You look over, and instead of doing like the weird hand gesture, you literally see him like crouch, step back, and then he like punches, up, down, punches.
10s. go. No, that's a D100. That is... Oh my goodness, 19!
19 damage?
19 damage, yeah, 2d10.
God.
Nice.
I mean, it's still alive, but it's not happy about it.
Take that! Infantry!
Yes.
Same.
Surprisingly, where you would maybe think, it's like, oh, plant, fire will burn them away. These being living plants, it's actually a lot harder to set them on fire, so there's a lot of acrid black smoke rising from what is essentially now a hole in its body where you've blown away a section of its midriff. But it is still alive, although a little bit lopsided now.
Typical UK barbecue. Gotcha.
Is that everything for your turn? Also, you're coughing a lot and wiping your eyes because no matter where you stand, the smoke always seems to be coming towards
Cool,
you.
and he's wiping his eyes with his nightcap. Oh, this is terrible. That's it.
But yeah, okay, cool. Hardy.
Is currently restrained, so is gonna look at the blight twig creature thing closest to him and say, "I'm gonna get you with my plow, you little." And he's gonna try and break the restraint that he is under, which I think is that with you'll have to
I'm
remind me.
just double checking, but I'm pretty sure even with the restraint, you can still hit the creature. You just can't move.
Well, I'd like to move. That was the
Oh,
intent.
well, fair enough. I thought you were going to try and punch the one next to you.
No.
Okay, yeah, if you want to try and break free, it is a strength check.
Strength check. Like a saving throw? I'm going to keep asking because
This one is specifically a check. So, as a little reminder, the way that people always talk to me, a check is when you do a thing, a saving throw is when something does a thing to you.
To you. That makes sense. -1, so this will be terrible. 7.
Ugh, no, you're still... You start trying to pull on it, and then you realize that you haven't actually grabbed any divines. You've just grabbed your leg, and you're trying to like pull your leg, and it's like, oh, this isn't doing anything. Unfortunately, you're still stuck.
So with that in mind, he's going to use what little movement he has, and is going to cast Blade Ward upon himself.
Excellent. I assume Blade Ward is a bonus action.
It is.
It is.
For my because I'm an Earth Genasi.
Yes. That. Yep. That is good.
Oh.
Because they're gonna try and stab you, and then it will be back to Haymaker. You've got this vine creature in front of you. You have punched off one of its arms. That's tickled John.
It's just something about that. There goes my arm.
Haymaker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I must have missed. I'm so sorry.
I mean, so
yes.
far you're the only person to have punched off an arm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna
So
see if
far.
I can. Yeah.
So far.
I'm gonna see if I can punch off the other arm.
Good idea.
Ugh. Not rolling great. Oh, 15. That's okay. Yeah.
Oh
because
yeah,
it was
15
starting
hits,
before.
absolutely.
Sweet. Let's
Just out of curiosity, what's your modifier for this?
+6.
Don't bother rolling. You punch
Oh
this
no.
thing in.
Oh, sorry. It's a +3 on the damage. Sorry, it's +6 to attack.
That's fine.
Cool.
It
Excellent.
had 3 health. You punch this thing. You sort of work out, it's like, oh, it's vine, or it's like needles and stuff, but it has formed itself into a vaguely human head. And I'm familiar. Punching things in the head normally works. And you punch it in the head, and its head explodes, and the rest of the vine, like the needles and the briars and stuff, just sort of fall away. You have successfully destroyed the blight. Do you want to use any of your movement?
Yes, I would like to. So I have 40 feet of movement. Nice. So I'm just gonna leg it on over to. Is that a blight that's just above where Mustalid is?
It is, yes. That is the
Yeah.
viney one that has like exploded stuff out of the ground.
Cool. I'm gonna run up to that one, and then leave it there.
You can bonus action punch it in the
Oh.
face if you like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am not on my game today. That's fine. It's a Monday.
It's okay.
Everybody.
I'm surprised I remembered.
Monday.
That's the same roll again. That's a 9 on the die plus 6.
Going to hit.
Nice. And that's 7 points of damage.
This thing had 7 health left. After having a portion of its body exploded by this firebolt, you see it sort of wavering and you rush up and go, hey, I've seen people cut down a tree before, and you punch the center of mass where the remaining bit of body was and just punch this thing clean in two.
You do know that's not how lumberjacks work, right?
Look, I watched a lumberjack cutting down a tree today, and what they did was they cut into one side, and then he walked around and cut into the other side, and then it fell over. So, suck on that. You punch the other side of the body, and it falls into 2 bits, like all trees do when you cut them down. If Minecraft has taught me anything.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did this lumberjack cut the tree with its fist?
Yes.
Please send me that video.
Okay, yeah, no, in that case.
No further
As you
questions.
cannot prove otherwise.
I take it all back, I'm sorry. You can expect my notes app apology on Twitter tomorrow.
I'll be waiting for it. Then it would be the twig blight creatures. One of them's gonna... Why did I leave one of you over here? One of you should have hit someone last turn that I didn't hit with them. Oh well, my fault. The one next to Hardy is going to try and hit Hardy. Hit Hardy. 12 doesn't hit, I believe.
No, does not. Glances off my serpent scale armor.
Also, I'm a knob. Sorry, I just realized once again I deleted the token that I had used to initiate the tracker, which means the needle blights should have gone first. You would think I had never used Roll20 before.
This is your one as well.
Yeah.
I literally wrote and made this adventure. The problem is when you make the tracker in Roll20, you make it based on one of the tokens. Generally, what most people do when you kill a token is you just put like the red X over the top of it like that. I delete them because if you leave them on the board, people get confused about whether you can stand there.
Yeah.
But if you delete them, you do what I've been doing, which is remove them from initiative like a moron. Anyway, Needle Blight's turn. So one of them is going to try and, because again, you're the one who you can see. First one is going to be for Octavias. 10, which I believe doesn't actually hit.
Which
Octavias?
No,
Which one's going
amazingly
for?
not.
Amazingly not. Cool. 1 for Hardy. 11, which I believe doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
And the last one is going to have to move forward a little bit. He's going to try and attack Mustalid. 13, which I don't believe hits.
I actually think that does hit. I do not have good armor class. Yep, 13 AC.
Ooh, no wonder
Little
you took
bitch.
so much damage last time. 9 piercing. What the fuck are these guys rolling?
These guys hate me.
Oh god, it's a
It's okay, I'm gonna
2d6.
set on
I
fire.
misread that earlier. It's a 2d6, not 1. Yeah, again, these things like whip their arms like woof, woof, and these needles flew the air, stabbing into your
Ow.
bodies. And yeah, unfortunately, Hardy manages to... Hardy, remind me, what class are you again?
Me? I'm a
Yeah.
bard.
You're Bard.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not gonna have a shield or anything. I don't know. You just dodge. You got like somehow rooted to the ground in these vines. You manage to still dodge because I can't say you defend it with a shield or something. That would
And
make
I'm
no
res-
sense.
Well, I'm restrained,
Just
so
like
it's
the
just
Michael Jackson lean.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he's
because he's
restrained.
rooted to the ground. He just full
Yeah.
whoop, leans over. Octavius somehow, I think probably by accident, just like, oh no, my sandals are untied, and just leans down as the needles fly over his head. Mustalid, unfortunately, looking the wrong way, is like, huh, none of them are attacking. In the bag. That said,
Motherfucker.
now it's the Twig Blight's turn. One is going to rush Octavius. I've already missed with the one on Hardy. And one is going to attack Mustalid. So this one is going to be for Octavius. 15, I'm pretty sure is going to hit.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hit, but I'm going to do another shield. Thank you.
Okay, that one doesn't do any damage.
That's
then.
right. Yeah,
Uh,
that one's not a wasted spell.
And then one for Mustalid. 18, which I think is going to hit.
It's over 13, yeah.
Oops. Oh god. You take another 3 piercing damage.
Mustalid is having a bad day.
Yeah, this is having a very bad day. Octavius. Good news though, you guys did destroy the Vine Blight, which is by far the strongest of these creatures.
Hooray.
Go team.
Okay.
Also, while Octavius is deciding what he's going to do, obviously, having written this adventure, I named this floor after the whole point of being like an indoor garden. And I only recently found out that every single time I've pronounced the name of this floor, having run this adventure probably somewhere in the double digits at this point, wrong. I've been pronouncing it Arboretum. Someone recently, I heard on a stream, pronounced it Arboreum, which I believe is in fact the correct pronunciation. I have said Arboretum.
American.
Well, I have never once in my life heard someone use the word Arboretum, so I'm not 100% sure.
I've heard Arboretum, but I think it might be American.
Well, that's
have been
probably
to an
worse
arboretum.
than just it's probably worse than just pronouncing it wrong is pronouncing it like an American. So
Yeah.
Shame.
It's fine. It's a fantasy world. Things
yeah,
are just
in
pronounced
this world
weird.
they pronounce it Arboretum. Now that annoyed me when I realized that because I've been saying it Arboretum for the best part of I think I wrote this in 2019, so 4 years.
Oh, wow.
I've just looked it up, and luckily, because I did a degree in linguistics, which is completely and utterly useless otherwise, I can read the International
useful
Phonetic
here.
Alphabet, and according to Google, it is pronounced Arboretum.
Oh, thank God I'm not a moron. Just that one person I heard on a stream is suck it, dick. Anyway, what is Octavius doing?
He's going to do another fireball.
I hope that. By the way, I hope that clip becomes like the VOD clips, like suck it.
We'll
dick.
do it.
Nothing to do with the adventure, just me bitching about the pronunciation of what I named this floor. Anyway, firebolt. Let's get the attack roll.
Okay. That will be... Oh, natural 18.
Ooh, that's a hit. Oh, so sorry. Which one are you shooting?
Oh, the one just to the south. One right next to me.
You're rolling at disadvantage.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, range spell attack.
God damn it.
I mean, you could just shoot the needle blight and let somebody else take care of that one. And if you do that, I'll let you keep the 18.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Cool. Shoot the needle blight.
Now it'll take you out. That is 8 points of damage.
Oh, it's close, but it's still alive.
Oh, no cigar!
This time you aim for the head. Having watched Mustalid punch the head off one of them, you're like, oh, that's a good idea.
I can do
Fire
this.
your firebolt at the head. But it ducks just a little bit and it sets the top of its head on fire, and now it looks like Hades from the hit Disney film Hercules.
Second Disney reference. We will be sued on the third.
That's for all us.
They can fight me.
Yeah, that's us. That's for all us 90 kids out there.
Yes.
Mustalid.
Cool. I am going to cast Burning Hands on the guy next to me, and then the one that's a little bit along from there.
Yeah, because Burning Hands is like what, a 30-foot range?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think it's 15
It's 15 foot. Can I move into its space?
Joe, we're gonna do this. We're gonna retcon it. He moved to there. There we go.
Oh, you're the best.
Look, I don't want this
cool, I'm
encounter
gonna
to be the entire night. Let's get this over with.
Okay, cool. Burning Hands, so they've both got to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. I am nothing if not benevolent.
You are.
14 and a 14. Please, God, tell me your saving throw is higher than a 14.
It is. It's a 15.
Thank
But
Christ,
I
they
rolled.
both failed.
I've rolled extremely well on that, so that is
I'm going to go ahead and kill
17
the
fire
twig blight.
damage.
Yep, they're both dead.
17 fire damage.
I was going to kill the twig blight before you roll because I'm pretty sure the number of dice you roll is enough to have killed it just based on that quantity. But you also killed the needle blight, and this time I'm going to add the red X's so I don't fuck myself over with the turn tracker.
You're learning. Clever girl.
I've only been DMing for nearly a decade.
Learning from experience.
Anything else from Mustalid?
I don't think I can do any. I don't think I've got any bonus actions. So yeah, I'm just gonna hang out.
Cool. It is Hardy's turn. I'd also like to point out somebody in the chat has said, reminds me of burritos. I have no idea what they're referencing, and now I want to know.
Is it Arboretum?
Maybe.
Arboretum burritos.
Burrito.
We'll wrap it up at the end.
Yeah, that's fine. Harding, you're still restrained.
He's going to try and break this
Oh, no, you're
restraint.
not. Sorry, tell a lie. The Vine Blight's dead. You're fine. You can move.
Oh, well, that changes.
Sorry, hold on. We're going to go back in time. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. When the Vine Blight... That's another reference for us 90s kids. When the Vine Blight died, the vines that were wrapped around your legs and sort of grown over, making this stereotypical train, sort of wither and die and fall away to the ground. And now we're back in the present. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo.
And all that sort of good stuff. Hardy is therefore going to just attack, cast Blade Ward on himself because he's can do so. Just to try and keep himself alive that little bit longer. So I'll do that. And is then going to attempt to attack this thing that's been stood there mocking him, I would say. And so he's going to unsheath the rapier and attempt a stabbing, pokey, slashy kind of motion.
I don't know why, but it could be the half bottle of wine I've drank, but unsheathing the rapier sounded mighty suggestive to me.
I chose the word specifically for you, Gordon. It's a connection we
I've
don't
also
have.
just remembered this isn't in fact Friday, and I have work tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Good luck.
Monday is the new Friday.
We salute you.
I wish.
I don't think a 6 is going to hit.
I mean, with as low as their armor class is, unfortunately, no.
So Hardy is just going to kind of be annoyed with himself and stand there with the rapier in hand, having missed, and he's got Blade Ward on him, so he's kind of all right. And do nothing else.
Well, at least you can move.
Yes.
You can still move if you wish. You just take an opportunity attack.
No, I think I'll stay there and suss out. Hardy will stay there and try and suss out where he can go. He's got the stone behind him and the rest of the group a bit further back, so he's covered from that perspective.
Phenomenal. Haymaker.
All right.
You have currently punched 2 blights into non-existence.
Great. Let me just do a little arrow to see how far I can go. Yes, I'm going to... Oh wait, there's one right there, so I'm just going to hop next to Octavias and just try and... Punching seemed to work last time, so I'll just do it again.
It has done you well so far.
I approve.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a 13 on the die.
Yep, that hits.
And for damage, that's a terrible damage roll. That's 4 damage, but I get to do it again. That is...
I wouldn't bother.
Cool.
Again, twig, blight, twig. There's not a lot to them. Again,
Not even a
this
branch blight.
No, this one literally doesn't even reach your waist. They are like sort of at 2 foot tall at most. You literally have to like lean down to punch it in the top of the head, and when you do, it just shatters into a bunch of twigs.
This feels like bullying.
So,
And I'm okay with it
Fine
right
with
now.
that, yeah.
by all means, use the rest of your movement to reach the other one, and bonus action punch it in the face.
Yep, absolutely. That is an 18 on the die, and then that is 9 damage.
You rush forward, this one already having been hit by the firebolt. You again see this, well, I think I described this one like Hades. The top of his head's almost like burning down a little bit of like a candle, sort of like getting a bit lower. And you rush forward and say, oh, I'm going to put it out of his misery, and just like sock it square in the jaw, and the whole head, poof, in smoke and ash and flame, the creature falls dead.
I think at this point in time, with all that happening behind him, Hardy's going to shout over his shoulder, "These things are really hard to hit."
That said, it is the one remaining Needle Blight's turn, and unfortunately, this is the one that's been attacking Hardy. Yeah. Hardy, unnatural 20. It's finally going to get a hit in. 7 piercing damage as this creature again throwing its arms forward, these needles and spines flailing away from it, stab you in the openings between your armor. Maybe a little bit getting in your face and eyes and just being a little bit irritating. But yes, that is it for its turn. Finally.
Thankfully, I have resistance from Blade Ward, but
Oh, you do, so you would have taken 3 damage. Then it is the Twig Blight. The last remaining Twig Blight is going to rake at you with its little clawed hands, and a 9 I don't believe is going to hit. You dance and weave and move away from this little creature as it goes at your legs and can't quite catch you. That said, it is now Octavius' turn.
Oh, okay. He points directly at Hardy and casts Fireball. No.
Do better!
This has gone on too long. No. Okay. I think he will. He'll work his way around, so he can actually get about there. I think because we can pass through people, can't we? It's no issue with that.
Yeah, you can pass through an allied space with no sort of hindrance.
In that case, I will go to.
Well, the question is, Mustalid, is Dave an ally?
Dave's an ally. Dave is
Then you're
not just
fine.
ally. Dave is best friends.
bestie.
How dare you?
But what about to Octavius, the one who triggered the trap?
Yeah, Dave's. They're chill. They're cool.
Then you're
like
fine,
you too,
Octavius. Big
Dave
little
gives a little
flaming
finger
thumbs up.
guns.
We still on for
Finger guns
poker
is
next
better.
week.
When he gives the finger guns, little spouts of fire come out.
Problem is, we're playing poker with him. All the cards get burnt.
He tries so hard though.
He does. I'm going to go for the trusty firebolt because
Absolutely.
Hey, twigs.
It's worked so far.
Okay, so I think I will fire at the one that is just to the southeast.
Yep, absolutely. Roll attack.
Oh, natty 15. Goodness.
Yes, that's going to hit.
What's that? That's 10 points of Damaggio.
So once again, oh god, do you know what? Never mind. I was going to say it's alive on 1 health. I'm just going to kill it.
And dead.
Your firebolt hits it, and for a minute it is still standing and shuffling about, and then the fire spreads a little bit more, and it falls down dead.
Take that! That'll learn
I
you.
want to be anticlimactic about this, but I really don't want them to lay into Hardy for another round. Mustalid.
Cool. I'm gonna use my movement to come over here. And I am going to cast poison spray. I don't respect it enough to use the spell slot. So can it take a constitution saving throw, please?
Not super good constitution, but still have a +1. Nope, that was the wrong creature. Hold on, let me roll the other one because it has also a +1, but I'll roll for the actual creature. Roll the natural one, so it doesn't see it.
Nice. So that is going to take 7 poison damage.
So, full climax. I shouldn't have said that. Octavius rushes forward, throwing
I
out
had a
the firebolt. Destroying the last needle bite. Hardy turning, seeing this last foe. Then Twig Blight that has given it so much trouble up till now. Pulling back his rapier, ready for another attack. And then Mustalid runs in and goes, spitting poison at the creature. And it goes, and then falls over dead. You have finished the combat. Combat is the initiative. You're out of initiative is what I'm trying to say, if I could get the right words in my mouth to then come out. Combat is over.
Good effort,
Those guys
Mustalid.
So as you guys stand about, sort of catching your breath, breathing heavily after combat, as you would, the adrenaline kicks in, and then as the combat comes to the end, the adrenaline wears off. You're trying to catch your breath. A small human man dressed in green overalls, with a belt of gardening tools slung over his hips, steps from the foliage.
Cast Burning Hands.
Oh, not add turn. Layer is what I meant to do. There we go. Nope, that's definitely not the right layer. Good. So I'm just going to point out to anyone watching, on top of my just usual incompetence with Roll20, they've also brought in a new sort of toolbar layout, and I am, for the love of God, not used to it. Token layer. There we go. Gardening tool slung over his hips, steps from the cover of the foliage to the east, or the direction you guys were heading. His skin like weathered mahogany with a thick, dark hair hanging in light curls. He steps gingerly over the remains of one of the blights, if you had killed one near there, which you didn't. Ignore that. And he approaches you, asking, "Oh, is everyone okay?"
Pretty much,
I'm
yes.
bleeding quite heavily. Hello.
I'm really sorry. I don't have any healing, but I have some. He starts rifling through one of the pockets in his tool belt. I do have some bandages. It's not the first time I've sort of run afoul of these blights here. And he comes over and he starts, if you let him, tries to like tie one of the bandages around one of the wounds that the blights have left you.
Mustalid goes like very, very stiff, but does let him. It's like, thank you. That's very
T-posing
nice
again.
of you. Do you live here? What's your situation? Do
Oh,
you just live
sorry.
in this-
Yes, sorry. Bran employs me as the gardener for this floor. Yes.
What, the
As he's
dead
still
guy?
tying the bandage. The what?
The man who's dead. The dead
Man's
wizard of the
dead?
tower. I can see that I have.
Wedging that
committed-
one in.
Mustalid looks directly at the camera. I can see I have committed a faux pas, and I'm going to walk away now. Mustalid just walks away.
Trailing the bandage he was trying to put on you. No, wait. Bran has died?
Someone else has to deal with this. I'm
not know-
panicking.
Do you not know
I've
that?
got -2 charisma.
I'm sorry,
If
sir.
you were to put a numerical value on that.
You start getting a weird throbbing pain in your head. No, you're fine.
It's lurking internally. I am assuming that you haven't read this adventure. Fair enough. I believe
Octavias starts getting a throbbing pain in his head.
I'm going to just make a formal request that you stop using the word throbbing.
Throbbing.
I will use other things.
It's like the words. Hold on. I'm going
moist.
to get really close to the mic for this one. I was about to say moist.
Can someone just isolate that for I need that
one
for
for-
future use. I don't want to explain why.
That's one for all of our ASMR enjoyers out there. Moist. Sorry, everyone on the
Are you
count of
guys
three.
okay?
Everyone on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Moist. There we go. We can isolate that and use it later for our own enjoyment.
Well, that's going to be a
I
highlight.
can't believe I participated in this.
Congratulations, everyone.
This is how we go viral.
I'm assuming that you haven't had the opportunity to see your master recently.
I mean, no. Bran comes down here every so often for his research. The last time I saw him was. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's hard to tell time in here. It's always like this, and he sort of gestures to the sunlight. Sort of encourages growth. But no, it's probably been, I would say, maybe a couple of weeks since I've last seen him. But he doesn't always come through here when he leaves. He would sometimes use portals, teleportation to leave the tower. I could sometimes go months without seeing him. Are you sure he's passed?
A
Well, that was what we were told.
small gentleman out the front told us otherwise.
Oh, there was also like a projection, like a force ghost that was there from that very hugely popular traveling bard show.
That's strike three.
Straight three.
We're going to court.
I
Fight
didn't
me,
actually
Mickey.
say the words. I will fight Mickey Mouse to the fucking death.
Oh, that's 4. We're going down.
Oh, we're screwed.
Let's go. That mouse is going down.
So
Like, we can't even afford to pay John. Never mind a lawyer. Like, fuck, we're screwed.
Yeah, what are they taking from us? Yeah, they can take like
fine.
all of our proceeds. Come
it's fine. I
They
can
will
represent
take my
us as well.
kidneys. I need those for drinking.
You only need one.
That's fair.
To be fair, the
I'm a
liver does
doctor.
most of the work. I'll survive.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I'm assuming that you haven't seen him around recently, then.
No, like I say, it's been probably a couple of weeks since I've seen him last.
Did he look
like I say,
well?
I mean, as well as he normally does, he was, not to be rude, getting on in years.
What are you trying to insinuate?
I mean, he immediately turns from you to somebody else. You say you were speaking to a small man outside. A wizard, halfling?
Roland. That's his name, Roland.
Yes, Roland. Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. He has come before to visit. Okay. So Roland has sent you in.
Yeah.
Right. Then yes, he probably knows better than I. I know they were in communication quite often. Okay. Well, I suppose all I can do for now is continue to keep the gardens. Obviously I won't stop you. I'm assuming that Rowan has asked you to come in here for a reason. By all means, if you follow that path, it will take you on. The floor above is the final floor. It will take you up to Bran's study. Wow. Okay.
What's your name, friend?
Oh, sorry. I am. Strangely enough, I didn't give this guy a name because no one has bothered to ask in the past.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Guy Incognito.
Actually, hold on. I'm just going to Google the name because if anyone gets
Johann
the reference.
Human Man.
Edward.
Guy. My name is
Nigma.
Guy. Totally normal human man. People who listen to Lads on Tour will get that reference.
Pseudonym.
Good plug, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Guy person.
So the name is Diego.
Diego.
I've been working for Bran for a number of years. He's employs me to keep tending to the garden here.
Diego.
Generally quite quiet, but
How long have you been here? Since like the Ice Age?
I also get that reference.
You got there before me.
Never mind you, Disney. We're coming after DreamWorks next. No, again, it's hard to keep track in here, but I would say 3-4 years.
Oh, not long. What happened to your, shall we say, predecessor?
Oh, as far as I'm aware, there wasn't one. Bran approached me one day, not to sort of toot my own horn, but I was quite well renowned in my area for my horticultural skills. He approached me and asked me if I would like a challenge, and trying to grow an entire forest under artificial sunlight is, if nothing, a challenge. And not to brag, but I believe, and he sort of gestures around him, I have managed quite well so far.
If you don't mind me saying, it's quite impressive. I mean,
Thank you.
surely there's a whole day-night cycle that happens. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be possible to exist in this place.
Look, we're not getting into fucking science here. That's RP Geeks territory. We're saying there's always sunlight and you can fucking deal with it.
Hydroponics, Roger.
Fuck, it's
Yeah,
gold
one of
again.
them.
So,
Listen, you little shits. Stop asking difficult questions.
so where's the weed farm?
Right back here, sir. No, but like I say, it's news to me, unfortunately. Yes, if you head on, you'll get to Brown's study. I don't know what. Oh, I can guess what Roland has asked you to retrieve, but unfortunately, my job was to tend the gardens. I don't know anything beyond this point, unfortunately.
What's the deal with the little thorny, viney bastards that were causing our
Oh,
ruckus?
the blights. Yes. Bran was. His research was formed around the creation of life. He was. Obsessed is a harsh term to use, but he was determined to find a way to replicate the creation of life. And I don't mean sort of animated constructs or something similar, but I mean life formed from nothing, sentience, living matter that can think and live for itself. He investigated the planes, the elemental planes. He saw life there formed not of flesh and bone, but of energy infused with a life force of its own of sentience. He studied plants that gained sentience, whether through darker means or not. He saw life. These creatures could move and think rudimentary, thinking though it was, they could think for themselves and they could act on their own. So he wished to study it, and so it was part of my job, unfortunately, as much as I disagreed with it, to tend to them, to grow them, and to make sure that they didn't go or propagate too far. But that was part of his research.
Oh, sorry we killed them.
By all means, they were not my favourite plant to deal with, and he holds up his hands and you can see quite clearly like scars and marks up his hands and arms where he has quite obviously been inflicted with some injuries by these creatures in the past. If Bran had allowed it, I would have destroyed them a long time ago. When you're near them for long, when you're near them for long enough, you can quite literally feel the malice that they emanate. They are not nice creatures to be around, unfortunately.
Anything like that?
Sorry.
Is there anything like that further in?
Like I said, unfortunately, I have never been further up the tower, but from my understanding, from what Bran described to me in the past, all that's left is his study at the top.
So do you just live here in this wood? Is that your house?
Not the shack here, no. And he sort of gestures off in a vague direction. Further in that way, I have my own homestead, you would probably call it. I grow my own food, although Bran does bring things that I need every so often. But no, I am quite self-sufficient in here.
Honestly, that sounds quite nice. Do you have any, friends or anything?
I am allotted some time off, and I do head off every so often. Unfortunately, the area I lived previously, there was a catastrophe that occurred. That was when Bran... Not many of the people I knew are still around, unfortunately.
If it was a forest fire, I had nothing to do with it.
There's a genuine look of confusion. It's like, a little more... He thinks for a second as if choosing his words carefully, and he says, a little more cataclysmic, unfortunately.
Okay, I had nothing to do with that either.
That is good to know.
Cool. Nice. Do you need anything else from us? Because otherwise we are going to go, because I don't know how to close this conversation.
No, by all means, I wouldn't wish to detain you any longer than necessary.
Wonderful.
Please.
Nice to meet you, Diego.
And all of you.
I just kind of pat him on the hand and walk away. Sorry.
He
Sorry
allows
your
this to
boss
happen.
died.
He gives a solemn nod, and as you guys move on and head towards the path he indicated, can I get everyone to give me a perception check?
Oh,
Oh, fuck yeah. Druid.
one of them.
Oh, +3. Check me out. Like all the stat.
Only a 7 for me. I am too busy trying to give Diego my business card so that he can potentially grow some interesting set dressing for my next showcase.
Nice.
So I would say this is going to occur after you guys have walked out of the clearing. So what happens is you go, oh, I didn't give him a business card, and while the rest of them have this opportunity, you're too busy patting your pockets looking for your business card. What about everyone else?
26.
24.
14. I thought I was doing all right.
Octavias
Team knowledge, nailing
it. Octavias and Mustalid, as the party begins to head out of the clearing, the two of you just have this, not quite a sound, but more of a sensation, something on your periphery that causes you to turn around. And so what was the highest? What was it, a 26?
26.
And 24 from
24,
Octavias.
yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, no, both of you see this. You turn, and there's this sort of distortion in the air, and you see at the far side of the clearing, just for a split second before it disappears into the tree line, this long, elegant creature, almost like a enormous snake, with long, feathered wings in multicolors, catching this brilliant light and casting the colors back of you, and you see it just for a split second, makes eye contact with both of you before disappearing into the tree line, and the gardener is nowhere to be seen. Both of you can make a nature check.
got a guess.
17?
But I didn't see it.
So what was that, Adam?
I said I've got a guess, but I didn't see it, so I
Oh,
can't.
yeah. Somebody's seen this creature before. They know what it is. Nate
6.
and 6 for Octavias and for Mustalid.
17.
17. You've only heard stories of this before. You've never would have seen one in real life, which is understandable because these are very rare creatures. You recognize this as a coatl. This is a ancient being, a protector of sacred places. And as you spot it and you remember this, just as it disappears, you have that moment of reflection on the discussion you just had, this chat you just had with him. And when he mentions the cataclysmic event that resulted in him losing all the people he knew, you knew that it must have truly been a cataclysm of sort, and you suspect that wherever he was previous to this is a location that no longer exists. And he has been brought here as a form of, not quite charity, but a nicety, that he has been given something to protect and look after until he has a new God-given mission to attend to. You also know that had you wronged him, it would have been a very difficult fight.
Cool. Nice to know there's never going to be any consequences to anything we do. Let's go. You seem nice.
Go.
You follow the path onward through the tree line, and it continues on weaving through the dappled, sunlight-laden trees until you eventually reach another heavy wooden door. Upon opening which, I'm not giving you the option of tallying, one of them words. You open the door. You see another set of stairs winding up through the tower. Upon following these, you find yourselves in a much more elegant doorway than you've seen before, with fine engraving and filigree on the door and hinges. And as you reach forward to open and push open the doors, that is where we're going to pause for a quick bio break.
Hey!
Nice.
Because I have hedgehogs that need fed.
It's a weird euphemism, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you do you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll be back here in about sort of 10, 15 minutes, and hope you rejoin us. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. I have returned to see we had a question from Wannabe Will Be?
Yep.
I'm guessing. Have you named the hedgehogs? Unfortunately, the two hedgehogs that we have in our care, for those who haven't seen this before or heard me talk about this before, which I talk about way too much, myself and my other half, foster hedgehogs, were part of our local hedgehog rescue group. The two we have currently came to us with names. You'll be glad to know one is hilarious and one is also hilarious. The first one we got was called Brilopad.
Wow.
Yeah. And the second one that I picked up last week, Brilopad, by the way, is a permanent foster with us. They live in our garden. Unfortunately, they're missing one of their legs, so they can't be released. So we have to do health checks on them every so often. The second one we received, I picked up last week on Monday, I believe. They're only a temporary foster. They came in with an infection. They are now healthy, and we just have to get them up to a healthy weight so they can be released. And they are called Bob. We did not name either of these hedgehogs. They came to us with these names.
May I ask
but they
a
are
question?
Both, of course.
Have you ever had a hedgehog named Sonic?
No, I have been told we're not allowed to call any of them Sonic.
Fair.
I believe of the hedgehogs we've had so far, there has been April, there has been Peggy, who was also missing a leg. Didn't name that one either.
Nice.
The one hedgehog I've been allowed to name so far, actually, funnily enough, I named them after a character from Nate's podcast. They were Guy, the totally normal hedgehog.
I'm honoured.
Is shadow prohibited?
Well, funnily enough, I haven't been told that one, so I may try and sneak that one in. Unfortunately, because we are the rescue, generally the people who find them are allowed to name them, and then if they don't, they generally get named by the team that sort of head up. We're just a volunteer who help keep them, get them up to health. We don't have we have some medicines, but generally they'll stay with the vet or one of the two medically trained volunteers until they are healthy. So they generally name them.
I have a follow-up question.
Go on.
Given that they've told you don't name these hedgehogs.
Oh no, they didn't tell me that. My other half did.
Oh, fine. Suddenly,
That was a weird rule of the foster people.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
that was my other half. When I said, "Can we name one Sonic?" She said no. Also, wannabe Knuckles is not a hedgehog; they're an echidna, so that would be wrong.
I went through that same thought process.
It's basically a fancy hedgehog.
It's a foreign hedgehog, which means that we don't like them. Sorry, that was a really... I don't know why I said that.
Ooh, racism. Ooh.
I don't know.
Xenophobia, technically.
Jingoism.
It's true.
A term I only learnt thanks to Terry Pratchett. Anyway, that's enough about hedgehogs.
That's enough about xenophobia.
No, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. That's enough about hedgehogs. If anyone would like more hedgehog facts, please, I don't know, tweet questions at me. I don't know. I run the Actual Play UK Discord or our modified rule account. I will reply to questions about hedgehogs. It's not a problem. But beyond that,
so many hedgehog questions.
You can do. I'm probably going to Google the answers for most of them.
Perfect.
I will forward you all my future hedgehog-related questions.
Well, strangely enough, so weirdly, some of you guys know I professionally GM, so I do some stuff for Roll Dark, and in one of the groups, I have told the guys there, we always do our bio break, and I always say the same thing I said for our bio break here. We'll be back in 10 minutes, I have to go feed some hedgehogs. So they're aware I do this. One morning, I got a text at work from one of the guys from this group. So I'm just completely derailing this stream now. I got a text from one of the guys at work. I got a text from one of the guys at work saying, Jordan, can you call? I had a missed call from him and then a text saying, Jordan, can you call me? Really need your help. And I'm going, I literally only know you through a D&D stream. What the fuck has happened that I'm the person you're calling? I thought about it for 30 seconds and then went, he's found a hedgehog. So I messaged him. Hey, sorry, just got to work. Guessing you found a hedgehog. Let me know if you still need my help. He replied, don't worry, just took it to the vets. He had, in fact, found a hedgehog.
I love that it was you before the vet. I love that it went Jordan, then vet.
Well, because it was quite early in the morning, apparently. He didn't know if the vets would be open. So he's calling me saying, look, if I can't get a hold of the vet, what should I do? But the bottom line was he had been walking the dog. The dog had smelt something at the local park where he was walking it. A little hedgehog had got its head trapped in a cricket net boundary thing where they do the cricket box. And he had got a pair of snips, cut it free, put it in a box, took it to the vet. Hedgehog was fine. It was brought in. The vet managed to get all of the netting free and he took it back and released it. But it was just like, I've got to that point now where if I know people know that I foster hedgehogs and know very little else about me, if they call me or message me saying I have an emergency, it's always about hedgehogs. He is the second person who has done this to me.
And now,
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to message you with some unrelated emergencies?
Look, if you have a hedgehog emergency, I am more than happy to help. The general rule is put it in a box, keep it warm, take it to a vet. That's generally 99% of the rule. If it looks like it's up and moving and fine, leave it alone.
Sound parenting advice.
Pretty much. That goes to all of our viewers out there. If you find a hedge, I'm going to look at them in the camera for this. If you find a hedgehog and he is sort of like he's responsive and moving, even if it's out during the day, it's okay to leave him be. It's only an issue if they are walking in a circle. That usually indicates a brain injury or missing an eye. If they are lethargic and can't sort of react to you, that means they're usually dehydrated or underfed. Or if they are just unable to move at all and trapped in some way, those are usually the only 3 times you should interact with them. Otherwise, they'll be fine. If they're out during the day, it just means they're hungry. If you have some cat food, put it in a bowl, leave it near them, they'll do fine. Don't worry about it. They have hedgehog things that they have to do. Anyway, let's get back into this bloody stream or we'll never finish the game.
I'm just really fixated on the hedgehogs now.
I am convinced this needs to be a hedgehog podcast stream thing now.
Well, strangely enough, at some point, I do want to like run a charity stream using like the Humblewood settings so that we can have hedgehog people.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, wannabe, also good point. Check your bonfires before you light them. There are probably hedgehogs inside. Anyway, you guys have got out of the Arboreum, or Arboretum if we're pronouncing it correctly, and you find a similar set of stairs. You walked up and you found a finely sort of like engraved and filigreed hinged door in front of you. And as one of you, which one of you would it be, would be opening the door?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Nice.
Mustalid, as you
boy.
reach forward and push open the door, you find yourself standing in what is quite obviously a study. The wall directly opposite you sits a large ornate desk with several open books, quills, inks. Sorry, I'm going to move you guys onto the map as well so you can actually see what I'm talking about. There we go. The wall directly opposite you sits a large ornate desk with several books open, quills, inks, and shards of crystal wand blasted across its surface. On the western wall to your left is a large 4-poster bed, and it looks as though it's been slept in recently. Its drapes are partially pulled back, revealing a rumpled set of sheets. There is a nightstand on which rests a silver pitcher and basin, apparently used for freshening up, and the pitcher appears to be magically enchanted to keep its contents chilled, as you can see condensation collecting on the outside of it. There's also a full-length mirror next to a wardrobe full of wizard's robes. To the east sits a large and spacious fireplace, almost 6 feet tall, with ash and dust resting in its grate. In front of it sits a large wingback chair that upon initial inspection appears incredibly comfortable and relaxing. And along the wall that you've just entered, to the left, you can see a small piano and a harp, both exquisitely decorated with gold and silver filigree. Both appear to have been well kept but showing wear from use. Sheet music rests in a disorderly pile atop the piano. You wouldn't think I had read this exact same thing 3 days ago. Along the wall to the right of the entrance sits a bookshelf and a display shelf featuring various trinkets and ornaments. The bookshelf seems to be mainly old journals and notebooks with a few reference books showing years of wear and tear. The display shelf hosts a variety of oddities with little in common with one another, from shards of gems to a few strange coins with unrecognizable castings. It is apparent as soon as you enter this room that it is one that has been lived in. The evidence of a life well lived can be found all throughout, and while there is little of monetary value here, there is obviously much of sentimental value. What would you guys like to do?
Don't get any funny ideas, old man.
I don't know what you mean. And he turns to the 3 of you and says, I'm terribly, terribly sorry. Before we go further, I must tell you something that is of very great weight in my heart. As you know, I am a teacher of students of the Illusion School. But I have a secret. I am just a part-time teacher. I have never taught a class fully. I'm just kind of, every now and again they call me and I turn up, kind of stand in, substitute teacher, one might call.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely trying to work out where the fuck this is going.
I have
and
no
why you've
desire
waited
to
till now
die.
to share this.
I have no desire to die in this room without telling you.
Who says we're going to die in this room?
I just described this as like a quite nice study, and you're like, I don't want to die in here.
Why now, old man? Come on, we can
Joke's
learn
on
from
you.
experience.
Everything is trapped.
Everything in this room reminds me of my age. My ripe old
Why?
70 years old. I'm lying again. I'm actually 105.
I don't really know how to respond to that, so I'm going to go touch something and see if it eats me.
The deception wounds me greatly, old man.
All I ask is for your forgiveness.
None of this affects me whatsoever, so I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened.
That is
Excellent.
fair.
Mustalid, what are you touching?
That's a fantastic question. Where am I?
In the room.
And you're back in the room.
And I'm back in the room. I'm gonna go touch the piano. Alright.
Yeah. You step up to the piano, and it is well kept. It is well polished, but obviously well used. You can see wear and tear on the keys. You can see a sort of collection of music sheets sort of piled on top. Relatively disorderly. They've obviously just been set down and not really tidied or kept in any particular order, but this is a sheet of music, or sheets of music on top.
Right, delightful. Well, that didn't eat me, so I think we're good. I can't remember why we're here. I got honestly completely thrown by this absolutely devastating admission from Octavias.
I am so sorry. He was weeping.
Look, I'm working on forgiveness with my therapist, and look, we'll get there. However, I have forgotten why we're here. So there's a piano. Was it that?
No, I'll maybe tickle the ivories, as it were, in a little bit once we've had a look around.
Fantastic. I'm gonna touch something else.
Octavius, why don't you go and take a seat over in that chair and not touch anything while we have a look around? Make sure, your 105-year-old life isn't going to suddenly expire.
Oh, fair enough. I understand.
Does Octavius go and take a seat?
He does. He goes and has a seat.
As you head over to the chair and you settle yourself down, you look up, and the fireplace, which up until this point has only held ash and the remains of smouldered wood, erupts into a quite cozy and warming fire. And the lintel of the mantelpiece, you see illusionary text form across it. And you see it reads, "Though with many keys I am adorned, there is no locked portal I can unbar."
Mustalid just points at the piano.
I'm guessing that's the piano.
Yeah.
All right, move over, Mustalid. Let me have a play.
Have at it.
Do we have a musician in this party? Oh, Hardy, hello.
Do we have a full-time teacher in this party? Oh, no!
No, oh,
You
God,
deceived
no!
us. Stop with your lies,
Too
old
soon.
man.
The shame!
I'll tell you what, if I fail this, we'll just substitute you in. That seems to be what you're good at.
Ooh.
The shade.
Oh,
Sorry, Mustalid. Well, what was I doing? Where's this music? Pick a piece. Pick a piece of music.
Pick one at random.
You pick a random piece of music. Hardy, can I get a performance check if you wish to play the piano?
You can. +5, because, this is one of the few things I'm sort of good at. 18.
You sit down and you, mostly at random, have picked quite an emotional piece. I don't want to say somber, but it's something that obviously the writer of this piece has put a lot of their heart into, and as Hardy plays, you can feel that coming through, and all of you listen as this music washes over you, and you're sort of enraptured by it, and as it comes to an end, almost without noticing, you turn back and realize that the text on the fireplace has changed. And it now reads, "Of the many things I own, there is one thing I alone possess, and yet others use much more than I."
My name. His
Your name?
name.
Whose name?
The wizard who's dead. The dead wizard's tower.
Bum, bum, bum. Thunder crashes. Boom.
Do you remember the Inception trailer, which I think popularized the use of the
Oh, yes. Brahm, I think it's called.
All right.
What was his name? Don't fucking remember. Some green.
I mean-
green
something.
stuff?
For our players, if they have genuinely forgotten, or if people are playing this up as part of their forgetful character, the full name was Bran Greenstaff Creel. Creel.
Creel. Ah.
Is there anything around here which has his name on it?
I mean, so far you guys have looked at the piano and the fireplace.
Is there
Played that
anything
piano
else?
most of it.
That
Haymaker's
Yes.
just going to walk up to the fireplace and say loudly and clearly, "Brand green stuff, Creel," and hope something happens.
As you say that out loud, Mustalid I see moving towards the desk. But
went for a wander.
as Haymaker says that, there's again this sort of flash of light and the text changes. Now it reads, "I alone may enter here, though sometimes there is one beside me." And as that happens, Mustalid, you step up to the desk, and on the desk you see several notebooks. Some appear to have alchemical or arcane calculations written in them, but one, lying open with a quill resting atop its page, appears to be a journal.
I'll have a look at the journal.
You shift the quill aside so you can read the most recent page, and you see in flowing, spidery text, "I fear my time on this plane draws towards its end. I have dedicated my life to my research and study, and I'll be damned if it will fall into the hands of one unworthy to wield it. I have gone over my protective spells and trials for any would-be rescuer, in air quotes, of my work in an attempt to ensure it only falls into the hands of one who deserves it. I can do little else at this point. My greatest works, my collection of spells and incantations, will be locked away before I go to my final rest. If you are reading this after my passing, then you have done well to reach this point. Perhaps you are worthy of my work, but there is still more you must do. I wish you well. Signed, Bran Greenstaff Creel."
Guys, I've got news. Turns out Bran was kind of a bit of a bitch.
He was a wizard. What do you expect? They're all.
Yeah, I mean,
hang on.
honestly, that's...
Goes without saying.
I'll show it to the others. I mean, he's got a whole vibe.
I mean, how does this relate to the fireplace thing? Do we just
I
throw
don't
it in the
know.
fire?
I forgot what was happening, and then I was reading.
Did you say there was a mirror in here?
I did.
Ah,
Where is the mirror?
In the corner.
Top left corner, northwest corner,
Okay.
next to the wardrobe.
Okay. Now the stream can see it properly. Octavias will stand up, realizing that he has 9 hit points, and says, "Oh, I feel a bit giddy," and stumbles over towards the mirror.
Yep. You see a reflection of yourself and the room around you.
And what was the phrase that was above the...
I
Flames.
alone may enter here, though sometimes there is one beside me.
He's going to try walk through the mirror or put his hand onto it.
You reach out your hand, and right as your fingertip touches the surface, it ripples and shimmers slightly, And as you peer into the reflection, you notice that the wall at the back of the fireplace in the reflection fades away to nothing. But as you turn to look behind you, it appears as solid as ever.
Okay, I think I nailed
What do
it.
you see, old man?
A Ripley mirror.
Like raspberry ripple.
Is it? Does it taste good or is it damaged?
I
I
haven't
don't get what you mean.
licked it. God damn it, man! I'm not a chef.
I'm a wizard, not a chef, damn it.
He slightly swaying with his 9 hit points. He
Just to remind everyone.
hang on. Did we all individually have health potions?
Yes, everyone has a health potion each.
He will down his health potion as he
Chug.
strokes the mirror. What's the
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2? Thank you.
Oh yeah, actually, while this is going on in a very taking it out of role playing thing, Mustalid is going to be just quietly casting Cure Wounds on himself. It's gonna take a little 2nd level Cure Wounds over here.
Absolutely.
Hardy's going to lean against the bedpost and wait for Octavius to ask for help.
Fine.
You're not fine, old man. Can you get the cork off that bottle?
It's very difficult. Could you help me? I'm 105.
Oh. Fine. Hardy will go over and assist. At least with the opening. He's
I've
not
also just realised I forgot to turn on Fog of War, so you guys have been able to see the hidden room this whole time.
Yeah. I was trying very much not to metagame.
Oh, can you tell I've not had much sleep the last 3 days? Oh God.
But
Oh.
now you've told us it's there. Anyway. Come on, old man.
Hey, thank
Take
you.
your potion.
How much?
Holy shit, I'm an idiot.
You don't have to pay me for it. It's magic.
The best part is I'm staring at the same map you guys are, and normally when I play I can see the hidden bits that are like behind like a grayscale. I'm just going,
It's not there.
huh. The Shadow of War doesn't look as dark as fuck.
We didn't know. Is it 2d4 again?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay. That one's not quite as good. So that's 3, 5. Thank you. Okay.
So this Ripley mirror, old man.
Yes,
want
look.
it moved, or you want to
Look at it. I suspect we might be able to traverse through this Ripley mirror. Would you like to traverse it with me, Hardy? Like old times?
through the looking
Through the
looking glass.
Indeed.
A little white rabbit runs through the reflection.
We are running out of time, so perhaps we should move on.
Indeed. With a big Cheshire grin on his face, Hardy shrugs and accepts the good wizard's invitation to step through the looking glass.
The two of you bump into the mirror surface that you don't go through it.
Tits.
Ow.
That was very compelling.
Thank you. He
It was a beautiful moment.
touches the... Oh, okay. One at a time,
got it.
lads.
No, you look again in the reflection of the mirror, and as you've looked over your shoulder, you've seen the wall behind the fireplace seems solid, but as you look back to the mirror in the reflection, the wall at the back of the fireplace is not there. It opens into a small... I say small tunnel. The
I
fireplace
see.
is about 4 feet tall, so you see
I
the
see.
back wall of the fireplace
So we
is
can actually
not
see-
there in the reflection.
I see. So
Almost like it's revealing an illusion.
I'm used to these things. I'm an illusionist. So
Substitute teacher.
I told you
At a
I'm only a
community
substitute.
college, no less.
Hardy's in front of Octavius, sort of gripping the sides of the mirror, about to launch it off the wall.
No, it's this way.
Do we need- oh,
That's a mirror, you fool.
well, on reflection, Octavius, I see it's a bad idea. Go somewhere.
4 points of psychic damage. No,
I've just realised we still have
Octavius,
birds going on.
as you draw close to the fire, you realise that no matter how close you get to it, it only ever gives off this like comforting level of heat. You realise even as you reach your hand closer to it, it never actually seems to get any hotter and will not deal you any damage.
Nice. I mean, we're going into the fire. Oh, you can have another little moment, you two, if you like. I'll wait over here.
I mean, maybe.
Out of the frying pan.
Octavius
and into
reaches
the
through the. I'm just going to fucking progress you guys. Octavius reaches through the fire, places his hand against what he feels should be the stone wall at the back of the fire, but his hand passes directly through it. And as it does so, anyone watching, the illusion vanishes, and you see a small tunnel heading back through the fireplace into an unknown room that none of you were aware of up until this point.
Oh my god, there's a room there that we were not aware of before.
My goodness!
Oh my goodness.
Octavius, who has already moved his token in, being the first to enter the room, you will be the first person to see what I'm about to describe.
God, I've made it.
Even though I had forgotten to hide the
Brave
room, I did
error.
not forget to hide the tokens.
I've made an error.
We all just leave.
You step through the fireplace into a dark room, the flames behind you, from the fire behind you, throwing your shadow out into the space in front of you. Before your eyes can adjust, several torches flicker to life on the walls to either side of you, illuminating a circular room of bare stone. At its center sits a large, solid-looking wooden table with several books and a tall wooden staff resting on it. In front of the table floats a strange creature with one large eye and several smaller ones on shifting stalks about its spherical body, each one now focused on you. Behind them towers a large humanoid shape constructed of some sort of rough clay. Its features seem simple and almost unfinished as it stares directly ahead, not registering your presence.
We're screwed.
The floating creature turns to you. This big long tongue comes out of its mouth and it licks its simple
Invisibility.
eyeball. Who are you? At which point you disappear and it goes, it just starts like floating, and as where it's sitting, it just starts like floating around like this. Where did you go?
I think Haymaker will step forward and go, excuse me, we've had quite a lot of fights today, so we'd probably rather not have another one. We have managed to get our way all the way up to this this challenging tower, and we believe that we have proved ourselves worthy of the secrets within, so could we just like skip all the combat nonsense and just get to the goodies, please?
So anyone who likes to, you can check the handout section. I've now shared an image called Spectator, which gives you an idea of what you're looking at. And as you say that, the creature just sort of, as you sort of enter the room, it goes, "You're not the one I just saw. What do you want?"
Well, we've been asked to come and pick up some cool secret stuff.
The staff.
There's the stuff, and we would like to take it with us to use for good.
Green staff is dead.
Oh, unfortunately, you've just said the magic words. As Hardy has been speaking, the central eye has been like narrowing its eyelid, but the other four on its stalks have been like staring at each of you individually, but not like as you would expect, where you sort of stand, one's picking one. I'm also just gonna I'm just gonna move your token in just because I'm gonna assume everyone's in the room together. You wouldn't expect like, in order, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, like they're all sort of like branching over one another and like sort of intertwining to look at each of you. And as you're talking, it's narrowing its eyeball, and it looks like it opens its mouth about to speak, and then, unfortunately, Octavias speaks up and says the magic words. At which point, a massive grin appears on the creature's face, which, by the way, is mostly eyeballs, so this is very disconcerting. But before it can say anything, the clay creature next to it snaps its head round to Octavias, and you hear, starting very deep in its chest, but growing louder and higher, "Father!" And we're going to enter initiative.
Dookie.
Sorry.
Who said that? Where are you, old man?
Which is both a blessing and a curse, because this is the funniest interaction you can have in the entire encounter, is the way I roleplay the Spectator. And unfortunate, and also good because we're running out of time, so...
Oh, okay.
Just to rack up yet another massive number.
Well, feel free to add it to the initiative tracker.
That was a 6 for me.
Ooh, he did not roll well. He also didn't roll well. Good God.
Amazingly, I had a 16. I think I may have killed everybody. Well, at least I've managed to get all of my dirty secrets out.
All of them, old man.
I
All
can
of
die-
them.
I can die with
The
a
clay
clear
creature
conscience.
raises its arms, obviously about to attack. This floating eyeball creature likewise turns, and you can see magic flaring in the eyeballs on the stalks. But Mustalid, you're just a little quicker to react. What would you like to do?
Nice. I would like to... Sorry, I'm really quickly reading the wording of this spell. I'm going to cast Call Lightning.
Okay.
Just kind of here.
Hitting both of them? Cool.
So,
Is that a dex
Storm
save?
Cloud. Yeah, let me double check. Yes, dex save. Let's roll some d10s.
Okay, the creature made of clay rolled a 19, but the floating eyeball rolled a 4.
Okay, so the
Against
floating
four
eyeball is...
spells.
The floating eyeball is going to take... Sorry, just completely fucked up my maths there. 18 lightning damage.
Oof.
And the one that saved is going to take 9 lightning damage.
Cool.
And then for my bonus action, gonna get my boy Dave to kind of like scuttle over here and then just go and he's not very effective. And he's just gonna spit some fire at the spectator, and it is going to... Oh my god, I have to roll dice. Awful, horrendous. That's going to do a 17 to hit.
A 17 also hits. This is the unfortunate thing with roll 20, because I can name all these things, and you guys obviously aren't supposed to know what this is. And you always get that moment of, oh shit, when you describe the creature, but obviously on roll 20, you can see the name of the creature I'm rolling. You know it's a spectator, not a beholder. I want you all to pretend that you're still very scared.
Oh no, this little guy. So that's going to do another 8 fire damage.
He's so pretty.
Yep. So the creature has been struck by lightning and burned by spitting fire from Dave. It is not very happy, as if it was to begin with. Do you want to stay where you are?
Yeah, for now.
Cool. Octavius.
No, sorry. He rolls for apology.
I mean, you can certainly do that.
Disadvantage.
It would be. Okay, just quickly, Dave. Dave is a what is he? Is a
He's a wildfire spirit.
okay, and is he something that you can kind of recast or that kind of thing, or is it just?
Are you going to try and kill Dave?
No, I just want to make sure that if I hit him, then I don't utterly kill him.
Nah, he'll be fine. He'll just kind of explode and then he can come back if I resummon him. I think.
Okay, all right.
Just this guy I have.
Okay, so
This little dude.
the invisible Octavius heads northwards, so he's at an angle, and he takes this what looks like kind of white, horrible, sticky stuff that smells a bit poopy and sulphury, and rubs it in his hands and blows through his fingers, and he casts a fireball directly at them.
So, bearing in mind the range of fireball, you're gonna hit the table. Are you okay with this?
Okay, so what is the... I didn't ask how big the room was.
I didn't ask what size the room was. I said I cast fireball.
So the area is 20 feet.
That's a 20-foot radius, I'm pretty sure, is it not?
Yeah, it looks like it. So where, yeah, that is really,
I mean,
it really is going to be shit, isn't it?
yeah, anywhere you cast it in this room, you're gonna hit the table.
Ball sacks. Okay.
Go for it.
You're either gonna hit the table or you're gonna hit your allies.
I don't want to hit people. I've already done enough damage. Okay. In that case. Rewind. The stuff that he actually grabs out of his pocket is some molasses instead of poop. And he flings it at the tiny beholder. If I could have a wisdom throw, please.
Wisdom save. 12.
Oh, he fails.
Oh, nope, sorry, I've clicked the wrong sheet. Hold on. I was wondering why his wisdom was so low. There we go.
Oh, God.
18.
He succeeds.
Cool. In which case, could I get Haymaker to make a wisdom save, please?
Oh.
Okay. That is 14.
Does that beat Octavias's spell save?
No, it's 15.
Could you please describe the effects of the spell as they now affect Haymaker?
Oh no!
Haymaker, you'll be pleased to know that you are now slowed.
Oh, no. So, here's the thing. Is this a concentration spell?
Yes, it is.
Then you can just drop the spell whenever.
Okay, he drops it instantly.
Cool. You see the magic. You know that your magic works by affecting the weave, and you see the. You can't quite see the weave itself, but you can see the effects. And you're used to seeing this like shimmering effect take a form over the creature you're targeting. This time, whenever you go to cast it at this creature, you see it blink a couple of times, and there's this like shuddering, almost like stop motion, and then vroom, you see the same effect take form over Haymaker, in which case you go, oh no, and just drop it like that.
Yep.
So the spell ceases to take effect, but you still have spent the spell slot on it.
No. Damn.
Is that everything for your turn?
Yes.
So, out of curiosity, for Mustalid, Dave, I'm assuming counts as like a creature and you've got stats for him?
I do.
Cool. In which case, the clay creature is going to raise up both of its hands and go, Father! And try to slam them down on the creature.
Motherfucker.
18 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Whoop. 10 bludgeoning damage, and if it survives, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, he has survived. Con is not amazing. 16?
16 passes, so he does not have his hit points reduced, but it still takes 10 bludgeoning damage. That was attack number 1. Does a 26 hit? Yes.
Oh my God.
The answer for you. 14 bludgeoning damage. Is it still alive?
Yep. What's
Still-
that? 24 altogether.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still up.
Cool. Can I get another Constitution saving throw, please?
Would love to. Oh, that's not very good. 8.
Okay, I don't think it matters because I don't think you could heal this thing anyway, but its hit points maximum are now reduced by 13.
Okay, cool.
And that is it for the creature's turn. Haymaker.
Okay.
You felt for a brief moment as you were sort of getting into combat, you went to take a step forward and you felt like things slowed down and they dropped again, so you're fine.
All right, this seems to be weird magic stuff. I'm going to punch the eye. Is that a good idea?
Punch the eyes!
Cool. That is 18 to hit the spectator.
And 18 does hit.
Move over here. Nice. And I'm going to take that damage. That's 5 points of damage. I am going to pardon me while I just check what key points do again. I'm gonna take flurry of blows, so I can do 2 more punches.
Yep.
So that is 17 to hit.
17 also hits, yep.
Nice. That is 9 points of damage on that one.
Woofda, yep.
And then finally, 18 on the die plus 6.
Also hits.
Can't be bothered to do the maths. That's another 9 points of damage.
Oh, he is not happy. As you punch him repeatedly in the eye, he's going, "Ow! Stop poking me in the eye!"
I'm sorry, you mostly eye, so I want to
Stop
damage you.
hitting me then! And you see the big tongue come out against, like it's what would be just its eye. But now it is its turn. So, what is it going to do? What is it going to do? Haymaker, could I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yes. That is 7.
You suddenly become irrationally afraid of this creature. You find yourselves under the effect of the fear or the frightened condition. So I'm just double checking the rules for.
Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks. Attack rolls will source of its fears within line of sight.
That's
Can't
the one.
Move
You
willingly
were quicker than I
closer.
was. Cool, so that happens, and then... Who else is irritating him so far? Mustalid doesn't like you very much.
Harsh.
Unkind, Jordan.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw from Mustalid, which I think he should be okay at, being a druid?
I am relatively good at. Hang on, let me just get my stats back. Wisdom.
Yes, please.
Ah, fucking A, 22.
Oh, you're fine. You see, so what happens is 2 of the eye stalks, which were like sort of floating around, looking around, immediately sort of twist and lock on, one on Mustalid, one on Haymaker, and you see them glow with this arcane light, and a sort of purplish amethyst colored ray hits Haymaker, causing them to blackish ray hits Haymaker, causing them to become irrationally fearful, and then a sort of yellowish orangey color hits Mustalid, but you sort of feel this moment of like confusion, like fuzziness hits your brain, but then you shake it off and you're fine. And then the creature is going to look around and go, "Stop hitting me!" And it's going to float 30 feet up in the air, which means Haymaker and Dave can both make a opportunity attack against it if they wish.
Dave would love to.
I guess mine would be at disadvantage.
Yes.
Yeah, nat 2 on the...
Fortunately not a hit.
Sorry. Spells.
Okay.
So it's a dirty 20 to hit with his little...
Dirty 20 hits. Just out of curiosity, is that a melee attack or a spell attack?
It's not, but he doesn't really have a... Oh, no! No, it's ranged.
If it's ranged, then
weapon
unfortunately
attack,
he can't
apparently.
take a ranged attack as an
Okay, well, he
opportunity attack,
can't do
unfortunately.
shit. So he's just there. He's just vibing.
Just fine. Just look at him, he's just twerking.
He's having a moment.
So I'm just going to put a little marker on it to remind myself. So the creature floats 30 feet in the air, meaning that it can't be hit by melee attacks. Something I often forget this creature can do when I run this adventure. That said, it is now Hardy's turn.
How high is this room?
The room is probably about 60 feet tall total.
Okay. So Hardy is going to move into range to get a creature 30 feet up. I don't know how far in, if I need to be right underneath.
You would need to be right underneath it with it being now 30 feet in the air.
Right. Use my movement to get right underneath it. I'll look up. Oh my god. There or thereabouts. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'll stay there for now.
So everybody can see everything. He's going to look up. He says, "I can see what you're doing. I'm going to get some of my hometown clay in your eye." And he's going to cast some blindness.
Ooh.
So you need to do a DC 13 con save.
That's unfortunately a 16. So Octavias, can I get a con saving throw, please?
Yay. Oh, natty 18. Hang on. 19.
Oh, you're fine, unfortunately for me. you, for a brief moment, feel your vision going dark.
Not
And then
again!
you just reach up and rub your eyes and realize they're just a bit dry, and you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Anything else from Hardy?
He's going to cast kinetic. Yeah. Can't do much else with his bonus actions. All right, to cast an action spell and a bonus action spell, or is that a?
One has to be a cantrip.
Good point well made. Good point well made. Then I think as bonus actions go, no.
Unfortunate.
Oh, yes.
Mustalid. Oh.
Yes. I'm going to look over to the slightly frightened Haymaker and give some words of encouragement and give them 1d8 of bardic inspiration.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Now, Mustalid.
Cool. I am going to... I can just keep using my lightning spell until I lose concentration. So can I get them again to make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yes.
I won't.
Oh god, he keeps failing this one for some reason. And for the other creature, 11.
So that is
They
20.
both fail.
20
Oof.
lightning damage for both, please.
Oh, so so the eyeball creature floating in the air is like, "Stop hitting me! I don't like." And then explodes in a rain of gore and viscera.
Nice. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to be like, Dive, spit on it. And Dive's going to go, Pleh. With his little flame thing. This time he's going to do a... Yeah, that's going to hit. It's a 22.
That's gonna hit.
23. So it's going to be an enormous amount of damage. That's going to be a... Sorry, I should know what he does by now. 6 fire damage.
Okay.
The
Still
look
standing.
of fear on Haymaker's face immediately turns to disgust. As she's presumably sprayed with gore.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, right in the eyes.
It's alright. Had to be done.
That said, it is now Octavius' turn.
Oh, who would have thought it? Twice in 1 week. Okay. So, at any point, have we seen any pictures of green stuff?
You saw the hologram of his face, but none of the rest of him.
Okay. I'm going to do a silent image of his face.
Okay.
And let's see. So yeah, he pulls out this little piece of fleece, and it kind of explodes into this puff of smoke. And the same image kind of appears just to the west of the group. And for flavour's sake, Octavius just shouts, "Stop!"
Cool. If anyone, it's sort of late in the game now, but if anyone can tell me why the material component for that is a bit of fleece, I'll give them inspiration.
Jace's golden fleece?
Nope.
Don't really know what the connection would be.
It's
Because
because you're pulling the wool over someone's eyes. If you ever want just a fucking groan fest, read through the material components for a lot of the spells, and a lot of them are just dumb jokes. So, like, detect thoughts, it's a copper piece, penny for your thoughts. And there's just a bunch there's just a whole fucking ton of them like that. Like sand, it's like a bit of dust.
Yeah.
Sleep in your eye, sand in your eye. Or I think it's either sand or dust, but it's like sand, like, sand in your eyes. But, yeah, there's a whole, you want to giggle just actually, because nobody pays attention to the material components unless they cost money. Read them, they're hilarious. What are we doing? Oh yeah, the illusion.
Yeah.
What is your spell CFDC?
The spell save DC. Is there a spell save DC for that one? Let me.
No, not for that one. Just because you've just
Oh,
summoned
just
an
in
image, but
general.
obviously the
15.
creature has just watched you summon an image. So
It's 15.
I'm gonna give it a roll. Woofta. Okay. So amazingly, I actually have like rules in here about how you can stop this creature attacking. The rules are: it takes 2 of a particular check. I am going to count this as a success on one of those checks.
Okay.
The creature slows down. It doesn't look like it has stopped, but it turns to this image and goes, "Father, where are you?" as it continues to swing its arms around. It's not meant to be funny, it's meant to be sad.
It's very sad.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is.
Cool. It is going to continue laying in to Dave, unfortunately.
My boy. He's just minding his own
26,
business.
I'm assuming he's going to hit.
Yep.
5 bludgeoning damage. Is it still alive?
It's still up. He's got 1 hit point.
Wow.
Okay, there's no point in
It's a
making the
hardy little
constitution
man.
save, but let's see if the second slam. 25.
Yeah, Dave's
Fortunately,
down.
Dave
No.
is explodes
R.I.P.
into ash and fire. Father, I need you. And it is going to. You see it begin to like vibrate. You see that the clay like cracks forming as it seems something internal seems to happen. And that is going to be the end of its turn. Haymaker.
Hey there, buddy. See, your dad's just there. And he's looking out for you. And all you need to do is just calm down. Just have a nice little sit down with us and we can talk this all out. It'll be great.
Can I get a persuasion check, please?
Cool. Come on. Oh, 13 plus 6.
The creature sort of looks from you to the hologram, like this illusionary image, and goes, "I want father." And you see it boom, sits down, just flat on its backside, and just sits on the ground. And for a creature made of clay, it doesn't cry, but you can begin to see like the clay itself begins to like run underneath its eyes as you hear.
It's okay,
And we're
buddy.
going to end combat.
Yay.
That was close.
I'm not equipped to deal with the situation, so I'm just gonna stand back.
What's your name, son?
The creature looks up to you and goes, "Father calls me Lutum."
Luton. Lutan or Lutan?
Lutum with an M, so that's my accent. Lutum, Lutum.
Or is it my accent? Luton, I know a bit about having father issues. Maybe we can talk this out. And I'm trying to escape out this shadow of my father, and I don't think you need to worry too much. Maybe we can help you. Maybe we can help each other. What is it you need?
I need father. You can give me an insight check, and while he's rolling, just to sort of speed things along, I'm assuming is somebody going to go look on the table.
Yeah, I'll have a rifle.
Go for it.
On the table, there are 3 books, each of a similar design. One is a compendium of research focusing on the effects of magic on wildlife, specifically how it affects life and sentience. One includes research into magical foci and their construction, and the last is Brand's spell book, the contents of which are available for people who purchase this adventure as a appendix, so that you can give this spell book to your players if need be. You also find a staff 6 feet long made out of what appears to be a uniformly thick tree branch with a faintly glowing crystal at its tip. The staff, also detailed in the adventure, has specific magical effects. And I can actually show you guys an image of the staff now available
Aw.
in your reference book.
Lovely.
Delightful.
But yes, sorry, Hardy, what was your insight roll?
I have deep insight and have delved into the deepest, most inner parts of myself and rolled a 3.
Oh, you're just not getting a read on this guy at all. He's made of clay. Like, what's that all about? Something weird going on there.
I think Hardy's probably internalized to his own, parental bond issue.
But yeah, you
do we
can continue trying to hold the conversation with him, but it ultimately sort of boils down to Luton wants his dad, and he wants to know where he is, and he's a bit upset that he's not here. He's no longer fighting with you guys, and he's not going to put up any resistance, but you get the impression he's very upset.
I just hover this giant head kind of around just to try and calm him.
Oh man, if that's not creepy, I don't know what is. Can I have a moment with you guys over here, just over here in the corner of this perfectly circular room?
Of course.
Sure. Yes. Why not?
Just walking around, trying to find the corner.
Doing a kind of Aaron Sorkin walk and talk.
That's it. So we know that Bran's dead, right? So what? How do we? What? Are there steps to take here, or what? Oh man, have you looked at this table and staff and things yet?
I've glanced. I've been occupied with the giant head, sorry.
Just multitask. Your substitute teacher really bring to your skills to the fore, man.
You concentrate on the giant head and work out a spell book. Okay, I'll go have a look.
My ego's big enough as it is.
Well, Diego seemed like a nice kind of person. Maybe
Right.
if we just sort of team them up and see if they can help each other out.
Tell him he's in the garden.
Yeah.
As
You're right,
much as
I
I'm
feel that-
enjoying the role play here,
fine.
I'm going to speed us along a little bit just because I'm aware a lot of us have work in the morning. You guys ultimately realize after some coaxing and cajoling that Lutum doesn't want to leave the room. He will be not so much happy, but he will stay here for now. But he won't stop you from picking up the other pieces in here. You get the impression that may have been the other creature's job. But you collect them and you head back down the tower. You make your way through the Arboretum and you do not spot Diego again. He is nowhere to be seen, even calling for him. So you continue down instead on back out to the exit of the tower, upon which you see Roland once again sat on the rock with the pipe in hand, having a smoke. But as you come out through the door, he jumps up to his feet. Oh, you're back! I wasn't expecting you to return so quickly. Excellent, excellent. Did you manage to retrieve the items? I also realized I was doing my gnome voice, not my halfling voice.
Yes.
Looks like it.
It's a matter of payment here, Roland. You know that, don't you?
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. And he pulls out the pouch full of gold and says, I believe everything's in here, and he hands it over. But did you find everything you needed? If you get spell book, the research?
Well, I think so. We've picked everything up. There's this, there's that. Yep, pretty sure. Definitely got everything here. Book.
Would anyone tell him about the creature Lutum?
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
When you tell him about Lutum's existence, there's a moment of glassy-eyed sort of, what? I'm going to try and get back into the right voice for this guy, because I gave him a voice before. He did it. Oh, he got, by the gods, he did it. You're saying it reacted, it was talking, it was asking questions, it wanted to know where Bran was?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
like a whole guy.
My God. Okay, thank you. He grabs the stuff off. He's like, I'll look after him. This is what he wanted. Life. Thank you. I can't, honestly, and he pulls out another pouch and just gives it to you guys. Like, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for not killing him. Bran would have been heartbroken to know. And he steps inside the tower and with one last look back says, I'll look after him. I'll make sure that Bran's legacy lives on. And he closes the door, and as you step away, there's a moment of pressure, and then the tower disappears, the earth reforming as it would have been without it there, and you're left standing on the side of the road with a job well done and a pocket full of gold. And that is the end of the Dead Wizard's Tower. I do apologize that we rushed the end a little bit, obviously, but you guys are now only the second group to have got the good ending.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nice.
The majority of groups, like you guys did, immediately mentioned the fact that Bran is dead, and then none of the other groups have attempted to stop him fighting. I have had one group that managed to engage the conversation with the spectator without once mentioning the fact that Bran was dead, and only one.
Wow.
For the record, the spectator is my favourite encounter to roleplay because I play him as being completely insane. And he constantly just will ask for your name, and if he likes your name, he will then take that as his own name, and if he doesn't, he'll call it stupid. So just know you missed out on that. But that said, thank you guys for playing. I very much enjoyed running this for you guys. I hope you enjoyed running through it. I hope those of you who've been watching have been enjoying it. I hope anyone who catches this on the VOD or on YouTube also enjoys it. This is available on the DM's Guild. As mentioned before, you can get it PDF version as well as what you've seen here. Everything you've seen me running through, it's pre-made available on DM's Guild. I haven't reset anything up before tonight. It is just there, able to load into your Roll20 games. But one more time, going down the list, if everyone could tell us your name and I'm going to give your name. If you can tell where you're from, John.
Yes, I am John. I am part of Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges podcast. And you can find us on all of the social medias under TOTTB podcast, or just anywhere you can find podcasts, really, because that's how podcasts work. As well as that, obviously we're running loads of streams here on Actual Play UK. Mainly, I'm kind of running it technologically, but not game-wise.
John is the man behind the curtain normally.
Yes.
It just so happens he was also in front of the curtain tonight.
It's
sort
confusing.
of dodging back and forth.
Yeah. So if things were rubbish, you can blame me, it's fine. But yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining in with all of this. It's hugely appreciated.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Adam.
Hi, I am the GM, interviewer, and editor for the Snyder's Return podcast and the growing but very small YouTube channel. You can find us on Twitter at Return Snyder. You find us on Instagram at Snyders_return. And all the places like the Trolls of the Two Tonne Bridges and the other shows you're about to hear very shortly, wherever podcasts can be found. So please check us out. Thank you.
Excellent. Maddy.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Maddy_abstract, and there's a link in my bio to all the various things that I do. The two most relevant to this show being Realms of Peril and Glory, actual play podcast for your usual multiplayer RPGs, and then my own podcast, A Game of One's Own, for solo and two-player RPGs. There's only one game out so far, Mountaintop Isolation, by the very talented Lalion Publishing / Anya. So yeah, do check it out.
Lovely. And finally, Nate.
I am the DM for Lads on Tour podcast. Just a standard D&D podcast, but everyone's just like a regular guy and it's the apocalypse. You can find that on Pods on Tour on Twitter or Lads on Tour Pod on Instagram. I think we're also Pods on Tour on Tumblr if you are in 2009. Or you can find me at Nate Ray
Or if
Ray
you're into furry
on
porn.
Twitter. Or if you're into furry porn, which do you have
Is
fun?
that still a thing
How
on
about
Tumblr?
you?
Didn't they crack down on porn on Tumblr?
No, they kind of they cycled back when they realised that's what everyone was on there.
That's why they were there.
Yeah. I
So
remember
what
the
I said
female
was
presenting
correct.
nipple,
Shout out furries.
nipple fiasco.
Do I have nipples, Greg? Can you milk me? I am Jordan, as mentioned before, of the Modified Role podcast. I've just remembered I'm actually wearing one of our t-shirts tonight, and then spent the whole night with my arms in front of it. We are found, as everyone has said, pretty much everywhere you can get podcasts. We do have a YouTube, which I'm trying to upload some of our episodes to, but I have found that I do not have the patience to render video. So we only have 8 episodes on there so far, but we're doing more at some point. And again, just massive thank you to all of you guys who are playing tonight, and especially to John for doing this and for running the tech for all of the other games. I cannot, guys, if you're watching this, whether it's now on the stream or on the YouTube later, I can't thank John enough. I made a Discord channel. It wasn't difficult. John has done all of the hard stuff for this, and it is beyond my fathoming how most of it works. So if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't exist like it is. So we have so much cool stuff coming up. We are scheduled with games through to like September now, and that is entirely thanks to the effort that John has put in. I'm just sort of there talking to people sometimes. I cannot understate my involvement enough. Or overstate what John is doing. He has been just incremental to making this what it is. So thank you so much, John. I'm sure everyone who's taken part and everyone who's going to take part really appreciates this. And just before we sign off, just a reminder, if you find a hedgehog in your garden, please do not feed them milk. They are lactose intolerant. You can leave them wet cat food and a bowl of water. They will be greatly appreciated. But with that, thank you so much for joining us tonight or catching us on YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful time, and please do tune in for the rest of our amazing shows that are coming up. But that's us for Actual Play UK tonight. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.